to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to.
Living by the wayside, distant thoughts are getting high. Head was heavy and I'm blurry-eyed. That's all I know. The pace feels fast, I'm eating. Without you here, I feel so alone. Energy still depleted, trying to find a glimmer of hope. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? If my mind is in an eternal fight with this stuff sometimes. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. When the demons hold us so tight, I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. Wonder where you are tonight. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? If my mind's in an eternal fight, wonder where you are tonight. Been focusing on healing my fractured soul from all the harm and pain I once concealed. But the storm has come before the calm. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? If my mind is in an eternal fight with this stuff sometimes. Oh, You know I've never felt this weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I try to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you that stopped this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess.
Where's all the lovers with desire hiding? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Where's all the lovers with the hiding? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. I fear the teardrops may get caught within the downpour. Yet there's never help without relief. Where's all the champions giving out their speeches? All these days thought of the least. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to.
You know I've never felt this weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I try to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you that stopped this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess. Living by the wayside, distant thoughts are getting high. Head feels heavy and I'm blurry-eyed. That's all I know. The pace feels fast, I'm eating. Without you here, I feel so alone. Energy still depleted. Trying to find a glimmer of hope. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? If my mind is in an eternal fight with this stuff sometimes. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. When the demons hold us so tight. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. Wonder where you are tonight. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? My mind's in an eternal fight. Wonder where you are tonight. Been focusing on healing my fractured soul from all the harm and pain I once concealed. But the storm has come before the calm. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? If my mind is in an eternal fight with this stuff sometimes.
Welcome back, you filthy Valorant casuals, to the Collegiate Valorant League hosted by the Gamers EDU, hosted by me. I am your part-time host slash full-time Iron Rank duelist main Queen Bee. Per usual, we have 3 matches lined up for you guys tonight as we get into week 4 of our Diamond Conference, which is pretty crazy. Kicking it off tonight will be Akron versus GA Black. But before we get into that high intensity collegiate gameplay that you guys all came here to see, I did want to take a moment and thank our sponsors. Thank you to our title sponsor, MSI, who is letting us host a giveaway for them right heckin' now. You can enter that giveaway right here, right now by typing !giveaway in chat for an MSI laptop, and make sure you do it now because this giveaway is happening for a limited time only. In fact, I believe it's ending in 3 to 4 days. So make sure you're getting those entries in now. Also, a big thank you to HyperX, the official headset sponsor of the CVL, and who is also going to give you guys in chat a chance to win your very own HyperX headset all throughout the league. There's already been a couple, I believe 2 or 3 giveaways or headset giveaways, and if you missed those, you're probably going to miss the next ones if you're not going to keep us tabbed, even on days when your favorite teams aren't playing. Also, I did want to give honestly a personal shout out to CEV Clear Eye View for sending the casting crew and the hosting crew our very own pair of blue light lenses. I mean, I got super sensitive eyes, so these babies have honestly been kind of a game changer. They protect my eyeballs from all that harmful stuff coming out of my monitor and all the multiple screens I use in daily life, and also like I don't get headaches anymore after streaming, which is super refreshing and super nice. And honestly makes me feel good to take care of my eyes while I'm gaming. So a big thank you on behalf of the Gamers EDU. Now, before we do get into the next match, I do want to remind everyone to keep it classy in chat. I am not your mom. I shouldn't have to tell you to behave, but please behave. Our casters, our players, and most importantly, our community members all deserve a safe and inclusive space. So please make sure you're just being positive and you're talking trash, you're not being trash, our slogan. Now, before I hand it over to your casters for the night, Eli the Curry and Ash Khan, I am going to send you guys on a quick commercial break, but I will see you guys in chat in the meantime. Bye, guys.
Whoa, man, that check is so cool!
Just try. You'll see.
Yeah!
It's dope, right?
Dude, it's awesome!
I told you.
You know I've never felt this weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I try to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you that stopped this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess.
Where's all the lovers with desire hiding? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. I fear the teardrops may get caught within the downpour. Yet there's never help without relief. Where's all the champions giving out their speeches? All these days thought of the least. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to.
Living by the wayside, distant thoughts are getting high. Head was heavy and I'm blurry-eyed. That's all I know. The pace feels fast. I'm eating without you here. I feel so alone. Energy still depleted. Trying to find a glimmer of hope. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? For my mind is in an eternal fight with itself sometimes. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. When the demons hold us so tight. I wonder where you are tonight.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Collegiate Valorant League brought to you by the Gamers EDU. I am Eli the Curry, joined tonight.
I'm Ashkan. Nice to meet y'all.
And today for our Diamond League matches, we've got a nice trio of matches here for you today. Our leadoff match is going to be between the University of Akron Zips going off against the University of Georgia Bulldogs. All matches today will be happening on Split. For those of you who have not seen any of the matches for the previous couple of days here in the CVL, we do rotate the maps out on a week-by-week basis. So we will have 3 first-to-ones on Split today. First between Akron and Georgia. Following that, we will have the University of California, Santa Barbara going up against San Diego State University. And our final match of the night will be between San Jose State University and California State University, Dominguez Hills. Ashkan, don't know if you saw too many of the matches we had last night, but it was a story of halves as really our initial teams, the team that attacked first in all 4 of the matches last night, had a tremendous advantage and would go on to win going away in almost every encounter. Could you give us a little insight on the split as to why, perhaps momentum can be such a factor on a map like this?
Okay. For Split, now Split has gone through a lot of changes throughout its history, particularly for one reason, and that reason being the defense side is very, very strong on this map. That is, of course, in the traditional sense. I mean, most maps in this game are defense-sided, but Split kind of takes the cake because of the narrow entrances, the narrow corridors, the tight fits, and just in any one place on the map, how defense has multiple angles to fire from. And so when we change halves, everyone's looking forward to being the defending half. If you start an attack, you want to be on defense. And if you're on defense, you're trying to secure as many rounds as possible before you change over, because attack is just that difficult. We've actually recently seen some map changes, I believe, in patch 2.02, if I'm not mistaken, to kind of remedy that, but we will always retain that sort of pattern with Split. Defense is the strongest half.
Interesting to hear that, considering what we saw last night. But I suppose if you overextend, you get too invested in one side. You think that you maybe, it's one of those things where you kind of have to, even if it's easier to do something right a certain type of way, you still got to execute the concept. And as we saw last night, there was quite a struggle executing the defensive concept for some of our teams. And as we see the agent loadout here, we see Sage once again suiting up here on both sides. She's an agent we saw all day yesterday. Can you tell us a little bit about what Sage is bringing to the table, some of the reason why she's so popular for Split?
So because of those narrow corridors that I was talking about earlier, Sage's wall is a great fit. She can just kind of block out any attacking or flanking side immediately. Once that wall solidifies, kind of gets settled into the ground, you really aren't going to go past that wall unless you spend the time to shoot it down, which at that point, you're revealing yourself to the enemy team and all that jazz. So Sage just does a really great job at stalling.
We'll see how that works out here, as it is Akron beginning on the attacking side, and Too Much Dog gonna get some good damage there on Clapper. However, doing glancing damage to a Sage or when a Sage is around is basically just forcing the Sage to use an ability, but not actually landing too much damage on her in the long term.
I like A Smith's position here on the attacking side, kind of working up the A, letting his team come back around. He hasn't gone up too far, but now we're going to see Jason take a swing and perhaps make contact with someone, but he does not. No, yes, he does. We're going to go ahead and have a little bit of an awkward firefight, and they pull off. And we're going to see the attacking side enter on Akron, enter onto the A site, and Too Much Dog is going to go ahead and chase after Trex, who went through elbow and gets a successful retreat. The site is taken, but we're going to have Georgia come back around, ready to retake, and Too Much Dog and Trex are right around the corner.
Well, look at that. The timing for it at least is identical. Pete pops through as soon as the smoke goes off. This Too Much Dog narrowly had a very awkward death there with nothing much accomplished. Instead, they do take one and get traded out.
Of all the members of Akron sitting directly on the side, except for A Smith, who's going to go ahead and have a fight with Nosebleed, but Nosebleed is going to take the cake with his Ghost. He's going to go ahead and push in with Trex in a 2v3 situation. And as gunfights break loose, Erebus is going to find Nosebleed. Trex will take Erebus 1v2. Trex cannot find the kill on Girthy Guy and gets taken out by a Neb Jam with a classic headshot.
Go. Well played round there on both sides, but it is Akron who manages to come out on top. We've seen Akron a fair amount in the past couple of weeks here in the Diamond League. They're a team that we're seeing more and more pop up in the streams, and I'll be honest with you, I'm becoming more and more impressed by them every time we see them. Starting to see, it feels like them congealing around an identity as a team, how they want to approach angles, as we saw there, how they want to defend spikes once they go down, and it's something to see the growth of this team as the season goes on.
Yes, indeed. You love to see it as they go ahead and make their quick executions. They get better and better. Just like right now, they get a nice 1-for-2 trade onto the B site. They're going to use their gun advantage, but unfortunately, Cheek Clapper with the round corner shot. Girthy Guy immediately trades it out. One person is left on the side of Georgia, and it's Trex with the classic. Unfortunately for him, He's going to go ahead and get peeked. Oh, get right around the corner. Unfortunately, Erebus catches him, rounding that corner, almost out of the line of sight, but just not quite far enough.
It was a very unlikely attempt there for T-Rex there, but you got to make the attempt, right? You can't just give it up there, especially if you're only sitting on a classic. You've got to try something.
Absolutely nothing to save, but everything to lose. And I mean, he was in a great position and he was going for some great movements there. It's just unfortunate timing. You see when you have that sort of stressful situation.
As we begin round number 3, we're seeing a lot of what we saw. This is what we were seeing a lot of yesterday, really, where the team that was on defense just could not get off to a hot start. We see here Clapper takes out too much dog, but they're being chased down by A-Smith, and there's damage going out there. So some of Clapper's utility will have to get used up in order to get some of that health back. And in its own way, that kind of opens up the B-site attempts for Akron, although we see Nosebleed taking out A-Smith there. So that'll cause a bit of a, if not a retreat, definitely a hesitation there, as Akron now needs to figure out exactly how they're going to try to take one of these sites down to agents.
Oh, caught with his pants down. Trex is down by Erebus, and we're going to go see if they pick up the rifle.
This is interesting here. As we watch Jason take this angle, this actually enabled Erebus and NebJam to get into the A site there basically uncontested. So even though it's 4v2, they actually get to set up to some extent before this happens.
But in a sense, they're also kind of pinned in their position, and just like that, Chi Clapper's going to land that headshot on NebJam, and Erebus is a fish in a barrel. All they have to do is shoot. It was a bonus round for the side of Akron, so nothing too bad when they lose this round, and they get the bomb plant money, and that also includes an extra ultimate orb, so they're still doing well for themselves.
Yeah, and we've seen this as well with Clapper and Erebus, as well as the Sages we saw yesterday. You really want to feed her ultimate as much as you can. Get that ultimate count up. Get her resurrection online, as we see Erebus has that ready. And when you can position your Sage correctly, you basically are playing with an extra life for somebody, right? It's almost like having a Phoenix ult ready to go at the same time.
That is true, and having the extra man, absolutely amazing. Of course, we have not only Erebus, but his counterpart, one orb off, so that it's out. As you were talking about the Phoenix orb, Phoenix ultimate Nosebleed is going to walk out and get, I don't know about that one, but a little bit of
more information than damage, yeah?
yeah, let's call it an information play. How about that?
There's Pete getting one there, but it's Girthy Guy who gets the response, takes out Nosebleed. That's one of the things Akron has been really strong at, is NebJam with a great look there, taking out Clapper. Girthy Guy wins that fight there, so Girthy Guy defends the B site by himself, single-handedly taking out the 2 agents there. Clapper falls over in mid, and so now, especially after this ult usage by Erebus, you've got a 5v2. And Erebus is going to be the one who's going to put down the spike. I wouldn't be surprised if Erebus, if they get a chance here to get a pick earlier. So if Erebus might sneak around and see if they can find another ult point on the ground, just to get themselves back into that situation once again.
Now, right around here, if I were Georgia, I would personally choose to fall back, save the 2 guns that I have, and hope for a little bit of a better round in the next.
One enemy remaining.
But we're going to go ahead and see A-Smith instead take those 2 picks with Vandal headshots, and he's going to live with 32 health, and it is now not looking good for Georgia, as one of their players cannot buy, or is that 2? 2 of their players cannot fully buy on this buy round. Yeah,
we're seeing this right now. Spectres, we see a Bucky, but it's really just armor up and kind of hope you're going to catch somebody slipping. And it's not really a winning strategy when you're dealing with a 5 stack of players that are actively trying to get better at the game. It's a failing plan. But it's where you find yourself. If you are UGA, you don't really have much of a choice but to accept this round as it is. Start saving up and hoping the next time you get rifles in your hand that you're a little bit more prepared for it. We do see Pete, however, does have that showstopper ult. That's not insignificant, especially if Nosebleed is going to get shots like that, taking out NebJam with 1 dot.
Absolutely. Now Akron is not looking in a great position. Oh, but just as soon as I say that, Erebus is going to trade out a kill on Cheat Clapper for a little bit of Sage difference. Pete is going to fall back. Oh, he does not know where he's going. Unfortunately, that flashbang really did him wrong, and he's going to go ahead and get blinded by too much dog and finished off through the wall. Nosebleed's going to go ahead and do his best to stop lines of sight from being seen with his wall, and A. Smith from the side of Akron is going to reveal the positions of the remaining Georgia players.
Call out's happening now. The communication for Akron much more clear. All the same, too much dog turns that corner with a little bit too much nonchalance. They get punished, but it's A. Smith who responds. Nosebleed takes out Erebus, and A. Smith gets a second kill. As the spike carry does go down, that's unfortunate. You know Erebus wants as many plants as possible, but if you're Akron, you'd settle for that as they move over into the B site, and the plant will begin shortly.
With a Vandal in hand and the ultimate in pocket, Trex can make it go. It is now a 1v1. This is a very, very winnable clutch retake. Is going to go ahead and lay that molly down just to make sure that nothing happens. No pushing occurs by Girthy Guy. We're going to go ahead and see the ultimate go down as well as the turret, get the double info, and also restrict the movements of Girthy Guy, who is going to be trapped in the very, very back of the garage.
Oh, and there's some great shooting there as well by T-Rex to get that kill off. Let's see if the timing was right for it, but I believe T-Rex played that really well. Very smart play there. Well done by T-Rex to salvage that round.
I think T-Rex got a couple shots off, and then due to that, Girthy Guy was kind of slowed due to the hit stun, and then got finished off by the turret, which is even almost like a kick in the shins type of deal.
Yeah, you don't want to get comboed. You definitely don't want to get comboed by the Killjoy into the Sentry. It was a great usage of resources there by T-Rex, and by the end of it all, between the kill and the defuse, you see T-Rex has 2 ult points back to it, so it's well worth the resources spent to secure that round. Especially, again, we've seen the momentum shift so heavily in this map against the team that's defending in the first half. So I really like that play on the side of Georgia to get yourself around here. We see Nosebleed getting 2 before they go down. The stim pack comes out here as Pete takes out too much dog, and A. Smith is there for the revenge, but it's 3-2 now for Akron. For Georgia. NebJam gets 1, but they won't find a second as T-Rex gets the kill there. In Georgia, back in this, they even the rounds up 3-3.
I like how as soon as you say that that the momentum is shifting against the defense, Nosebleed is like, me and I just got this double kill. Like, how are you gonna say that to my face, Eli?
Well, that's the thing. I talk it, they do it, right? They're the ones walking the walk. I'm just here to call out what I see, and you know, it goes to show you how adaptation can play out. You can see Georgia with that sense of urgency from the old usage of T-Rex, and now we're just seeing the way that they're playing here and in the round following. They're not eager to give up any extra rounds. They're trying to play this smartly. You see this wall go up. I love that. It's a pure defensive wall, right? Nobody's standing on top of it. There's no peeking, trying to get easy, cheeky kills. It's about forcing as much ammo and information out of Akron as possible before a committed attack begins.
Absolutely. And we also notice actually Trex having set up on the B site rather than the A site setup that they were doing earlier. So this is going to go ahead and lock down B site a little bit more, which is where Sentinels are more usually expected to play as well.
Going to be a lot of pressure here on T-Rex when they turn and peek and do find 3 here. You know the word is going out. We don't have access to the comms, but you can see Pete's Boomba going out right there. When that information is being relayed, and Akron, knowing that that is the case here, you see them shifting over towards mid. They'll see if they can try to cut that rotation off, maybe fake out a full rotation and see if they can catch somebody coming through mid. It's too much dog. Gets a cheek-to-cheek introduction with the clapper. And that's what happens when you touch cheeks with a cheek clapper. Your cheek gets clapped as they get the kill there. NebJam gets a response there on Pete, however. And look at T-Rex here lurking the back of heaven over on the B site. They weren't pulled off. They weren't fooled. They get a kill here. And even as the plant goes down, this is a full 360 surrounding right now for Georgia as NebJam gets 3. That's a great play from NebJam. They keep this open for Erebus now. It's a 1v1.
Nosebleed's got everything he needs. He's got full armor, full health, and his ultimate. Erebus on the other hand, 85 health in a dream. And it almost happens, but Nosebleed is going to finish him off with 3 shots of the Vandal. All it took. And he's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
go
not.
ahead and retake.
It's not the prettiest fight for Nosebleed. It's not exactly the way you want to win a rifle v pistol fight, but you want to win the fight more than anything else. And that was the job done there.
You know, watching Akron more and more, I'm starting to become a bit of a fan, especially of Erebus. Watching him, usually I like to see him on Sova, but seeing him here on Sage as well, and the kind of plays he's making, I think I have to switch from a CSUN stand to an Akron stand at this point.
I mean, you know, I think you get multiple fandoms here at this point. I mean, I appreciate, you know, like you said, when you see somebody play well, you're a fan. You love to see it. In the words of our own Regal Queen V, we love to see somebody who can play this game well. You hear the ultimate come out here. E-Rex getting fully stunned up and too much. Oh no!
No, that's not how you want to go out.
No, losing the Reyna ult there to the Swarm. Erebus gonna go ahead and kind of erase that and say, you know what? Nah, let's just try it again without your ult, but we believe in you.
Ooh, A. Smith watching the flank, predicting cheek clappers push, and goes ahead and takes it, turning it into a 2v4 for Georgia. And Nosebleed with a ult push into Garage, but unfortunately too much dogs there to defend both the ultimate as well as the enemy Brimstone, and he's going to go ahead and finish off Nosebleed's original body for not really a triple kill, but kind of a triple kill.
What is, in essence, a triple kill, right?
Exactly.
Well, it's a round one here for Akron as they stop the bleeding and tie it back up at 4-4. We've gone back and forth as we get into round number 9. You can see the economic advantage heavily in the favor of Akron at this moment. And so with just, 4 rounds to each side and 4 rounds to go in the half, what do you see out of both sides thus far, Ashkan? What's your analysis on the differing styles between the two teams?
Well, so far, I think the adaptation on Georgia's side has been keeping up with Akron. That's why we're seeing Akron kind of pull up a few rounds, and then Georgia kind of return the favor, evening themselves out. I'm like holding my analysis real quick because at any moment it happens every time, Eli. We get an analysis question,
and then players are just like, "Nah, we don't want to. Nah, no talk, just fight."
Exactly. Too much dog is actually going to take out Cheek Clapper off screen, and Georgia here is in a little bit of a not so great position, but Jason is actually right behind Girthy Guy, and unfortunately cannot get that Bucky kill. You hate the Bucky left click. Let me tell you, Eli. For some reason, that Bucky right click is better than the Bucky left click, and it does not make sense.
That is such an unfortunate round there, Jason. I was just about to say the patience there to not take the first shot, to let more bodies fill out from that smoke. It would have paid off so well had the kills come through. And unfortunately, it goes wide. Erebus is able to respond quickly. And so it's another round one there from Akron. This time, as much luck as it is skill, you need a little bit of both to succeed in this world. And there you have it. They go up 5-4.
I'm with Jason on that one. If he's saying that he should have gotten that kill, I 100% agree. That was, I mean, my heart.
It's definitely one of those never would have happened on LAN moments, right? One of those, like, I swear to God, if we were playing actually connected, there's no way I would have missed that shot. But again, you just thank your stars if you're Akron. Honestly, if you're UGA, you got to feel confident. You can make reads like that. You're gonna get another opportunity. Maybe you can make something better happen in the next round or in the second half, as we see Too Much Dog trying to set up and peek there around the corner in B, see if they can fully go through Garage, but maybe thought better of it.
A little bit of an intense peeking situation here. Fight comes out, and Nebjam gets saved by Erebus, who gets rid of Jason out on the mid. Nosebleed is going to go ahead and get rid of Too Much Dog, however, as Cheek Clapper reses Pete, but Girthy Guy is going to go ahead and find Nosebleed at the end of the day. Pete is going to go ahead and throw that nade into Mailroom with hit 3 with the first explosion. Kills Erebus with the second and lands the Vandal shots on A. Smith, who's falling out. It is Akron forced to retreat into ropes, but Trex finds Nebjam, who is already low. Girthy Guy stuck in pipes, and with 50 health, it is looking like a tough situation for him.
If you've never had anyone explain to you how important geometry class is, let Pete be your guide. What a phenomenal toss there from Pete. And now the pressure, I mean, it's all on Girthy Guy here. They get a chance actually to take Pete down. And I'll tell you what, you turn a 3v1 into a 2v1 like this with the split that we're seeing out of UGA, Girthy Guy might have a chance here. They got to move quickly and unfortunately turn the wrong corner as Clapper is ready to punish the movement.
He took the wrong 50-50, which is, I'm certain, something you see a lot in the FGC, Eli.
Oh, gosh, yes. You live in, oh man, yeah. As Queen V is fond of saying in the chat, we love to see it. It's one of the most fun things, making people guess. It's well done there by Clapper. And good positioning as well. Even though the split was there, they were positioned well. They knew that the site was more important with that much time on the clock. And that's what led to the decision making from Girthy Guy, and that's why they weren't able to get a gun up and fight at the end of that round.
And speaking of Girthy Guy, he's going to go ahead and have 1 point off that breach ult. So he's going to go ahead and try to contest this ult orb, but it is Nosebleed with the flash around the corner to take him out. So, you know, Girthy Guy gets his ult orb, but unfortunately he's not going to be using it until next round.
Decision there. Again, I feel like that's one thing we're seeing out of UGA. It's actually pretty frisky, right? They are making some very accurate predictions as far as movement and decision making on the side of Akron. So whether it's because Akron's play style is maybe a little too conventional for the moment, or whether UGA is just, you know, really aware, that's something Akron's got to be aware of, right? Your kind of your autopilot decision making, right? The things that they're just kind of doing because they always do. Those things are being actively predicted and countered here on the side of UGA. So as we get closer into the second half, we're gonna have to see Akron be very thoughtful about rotations and decisions they make, especially on defense. While we've been talking, it's just been all set up here as A. Smith gets the shot there on Jason, but Clapper responds, and Pete takes out Erebus. UGA once again rising to that challenge. Too Much Dog does take out Nosebleed, however, and NebGen takes out Pete, so we trade out again, and it's 2v2 here as Too Much Dog and Clapper meet up, and it's Too Much Dog who gets the kill. They're going to turn the corner here on T-Rex. Don't get the kill here, and T-Rex with another Killjoy ult. This time, it's NebJam going one-on-one with the Killjoy. Here we go.
Oh, he drops to the floor, so now his position is revealed, but he's running straight over to the bomb. NebJam with a little bit more information than he should have. He's going to go ahead and walk around and find Trex's head right then and there, right for the taking. Trex with the play. Amazing use of the ultimate to kind of zone NebJam out. We saw that a little bit earlier in the half, but this time around they sort of gave themselves up with that drop down to hell and kind of running around the site, right? Not confirming where NebJam is first.
Right, and it was a different spike placement than the last time as well. So not as much cover in the movement towards it. Perhaps a bit of antsiness there on T-Rex's part, or perhaps just assumption that the Killjoy ult with the detainment would push further. And we hear that Reyna ult come up here as the last round begins. It's Too Much Dog who tries to start things off, but Clapper is able to match up, though. We see the stun come out here, but it's Patience on the side of Akron. They don't go through off of that.
Man, it is ult after ult here with the Reyna ult, Breach ult, and Brimstone ult to top it off.
I mean, there's nothing to hold back, right? This is the last round and a half. One way or another, you reset. And I like the decision making, to be honest, for UGA to try to use that utility. Now that you're down an agent, you've got to try to force something like this. We see Jason not able to get a kill, but I do believe they glimpsed a stack. And so there's the word there for the rest of UGA. Form up, because you're going to have 4 angry Zips on the move.
Indeed, and as we were talking, both Sages have popped their heals. No help is coming, and for the next 45 seconds on either side, T-Rex is here alone on the site as Akron is getting ready to push. He's going to go ahead and have a little bit of a helper in Jason holding the A Heaven.
30 seconds left. Placing swamp grenade.
Yeah, the response is there as we see Pete and Clapper coming over, but it's T-Rex who gets another good kill there with the swarm. The grenade placement today has been tremendous. There's T-Rex punishing Erebus's movement. Jason takes out Girthy Guy, and it's Pete to kill NebJam. And so with the weapon disadvantage that was pretty steep, honestly, all things considered, UGA still managing to take that and keep us even as we enter the second half.
I'm definitely looking forward to this attack half from the side of Georgia, because they have certainly been adapting, and even through disadvantage have been pulling through over and over again. And I just want to know who's making their shot calls, because these are some great decisions coming out. I mean, individually you can see these players doing their own thing, as well as throughout, their entire map play. It's just got my jaw dropping.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen UGA on stream here for the Diamond League. We may have seen them over the course of the weekend, but for regular league play, this is really our introduction, I should say, to UGA, and it's been an impressive one here. As they're gonna push up here on the B site, try to make A Smith work. As they turn, they do get around the box. See Girthy guy taking some shots there from heaven. They don't get it though, as Pete gets the initial kill of the second half, and then Clapper takes out A Smith there. So it is a B site push that is successful here for UGA. And now Akron is forced to retake down 2 agents and a 5v3.
Oh, he got spotted, but unfortunate, but is smoked off in a sort of savior type fashion. But it is Nebjam who's going to jump right out and find Pete. Erebus is going to get taken down by T-Rex. Too much dog finding Jason, but T-Rex is going to find too much dog. Cheat Clapper taking out Nebjam to finish off the round. And that is Georgia making a great entrance into the B site for their first pistol round on attack.
And there was a glimpse of that adaptation, what you were talking about for Georgia. The timing there on, the timing on that smoke from Jason, right? Right as Erebus was coming out of heaven, and Pete maybe dead to rights, maybe even up. We don't know how that gunfight goes, right? But we did see Jason respond right on time, perfectly, to shut down the peak. I just wonder how much, Georgia's been watching these stream matches. They've been doing their homework, because their timings have been really strong over the course of these past few rounds.
And just like that, they're going to also enter into the A side just as easily with Nosebleed finding a pick, and Jason as well on too much dog. Trex taking the heaven hold on Girthy guy. I mean, they are at a gun advantage, but even so, they're making quick work of Akron here.
T-Rex now just two-tapping everybody.
A Smith spotted on the flank, and T-Rex is going to go ahead and try to find his second kill of the round, but it's A Smith who's going to go ahead and retreat into ropes and play this little headshot angle, see if he can find any picks just to kind of impact the economy a little bit. And he does!
Had a little turned around there at the end, but you take the shot that they wanted. That was the idea, right? Get a kill on the way out, and that's what happens. But you're not going to be able to get many more consolation victories like that, as we are in the second half now, and UGA up 2 rounds, 8-6 here. The money has come online, however, for Akron. They are going to be able to buy in. You see T-Rex going to go with that marksman. It's Spectres for the rest of UGA. What are your thoughts on this marksman pick here from T-Rex? They have a little bit of extra money, but do you think maybe they have, or maybe a little bit over-invested in this, or what do you think?
I mean, certainly they've chosen to go for the bonus round, but maybe perhaps they want T-Rex to play back a little bit from garage after the post plant occurs, but whether it occurs or not is up in the air, because A Smith is going to land a clean headshot on Pete. Yep, in the back of garage with that Marshall. So definitely trying to kind of take out those long angles. Too much dog with a flank, but goes out to Cheat Clapper. A Smith with a second kill on T-Rex, who I guess swung in garage.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. It's a little too aggressive there for T-Rex, so they fall. That Marshall goes to the ground there, and this weapons advantage for Akron becomes a little bit more prominent, I would say, especially since it's 4-3 now, having only lost 1 gun. They're not so worried about some of these longer range gunfights in the Vandal versus the Spectre. You definitely are happy to be further out of range if you're the one holding the rifle.
But as Georgia gets closer, Girthy guy does in fact land the headshot, even though Georgia was hoping for a little bit of a closer fight. Erebus with the swing to find Jason, but Girthy guy with a second swing as well, kind of in tandem, going back and forth with his teammate, finds the last pick in what is a beautiful, beautiful exchange of just timing and peeking and communicating.
Yeah, well, we talked about how UGA was playing it. We talked about their shot calls. Akron, not to be denied, says, wait a minute now, we're only down 2. in that last round, right? We were even at the half. This has not been a one-sided affair by any means. As the rifles came online for Akron, they pick up that round. They'd love to keep that momentum going here as the rifles come out on the side of UGA, and we are beginning to get into the later rounds of the second half. We are very close now to start pushing up and really getting into that overtime conversation.
Oh, here comes the slow grenade combo. A-Smith getting a little bit kind of caught in that, but not too much health lost in the process. He has his one-way cage set up, and he's going to go ahead and pop it. And how we see Too Much Dog here in the defense. Erebus rotating off of the Heaven B, kind of ready to be to the safety of, or to be the savior of Too Much Dog or A-Smith on B site, ready to kind of turn, flick, throw, whatever he needs to do.
See the boom will go out here. Too Much Dog marks it as it goes through the door. Sees that angle. There's Pete with a great shot on Erebus, and Clapper gets the eyes on Too Much Dog here. That box will definitely give you away before you get to sight. NebGem takes care of Nosebleed through the ropes. They're still gonna have to retreat from this Killjoy ultimate, and that'll, I think it looks like it's zoning off the A site actually, right? You create the fake. Pete now looks to punish anybody moving through that smoke. NebGem tries to go right by, but because of that, didn't notice that Pete was there. There you go, folks. Sometimes it's well worth it to actually walk the walk before you try to teleport, so you know who's behind you.
I feel like he was trying to teleport to avoid anyone in the smoke, but then forgot that if he teleports, the person in the smoke will peek him.
You know, maybe playing with the sound off a little too often. I know what it is. Solo queue, right? You don't want to hear anybody. I get it. I feel you, but maybe not so much for the CVL decision making. As we see now, UGA got their guns back online. They march right back in with some really clever usage of ult. And again, superior tactical decision making. I think when we see the gunplay between these two teams, they're pretty even. But at least from my view, Ashkan, it feels like UGA has a bit of an edge when it comes to making these decisions in the heat of battle, right when things need to go their way.
Absolutely, they're taking the information and the rotations very, very seriously. You know, no one's trying to play hero. No one's trying to push a push that should not be pushed. No one's trying to force any type of situations. They're definitely taking the information and, digesting it.
Well, that's gonna need to continue to happen here. As you see, Girthy guy with the Bucky. It is a save here type of situation.
So A-Smith's angle right there on the Heaven Rafters kind of enables him to watch B main as well as trade Erebus should he fall in the Heaven B, and I'm liking that. And Pete gets up over the box with a little bit of a tech jump. That's not something easy to do. He's not going to find anyone, but there are players to his left and right, and he's going to go walk right into Girthy guy, but it is Pete who gets the shots off first, and it seems yet again that Bucky is not doing its job. Fortunately for the close angle holders, and Pete is going to find the second kill of this round with the showstopper.
Sage killed.
Ooh, Trex catches the rotator with a nice lurk on mid.
Spike planted.
Spike goes down here. You see NebGem with hardly oh, Too Much Dog taking out Pete, however, so the weapon upgrades there for Too Much Dog. They do have their ultimate if they want to try to make something heroic happen here. Too Much Dog is not so far out of position, and 4v2 is not the worst odds here. But we'll see what the decision is as NebJam and Too Much Dog try to figure this out. You see the wall still up there from Clapper. Too Much Dog forced to break it. That's going to reveal their location. He takes the fight. Clapper handles that, and NebJam is not able to respond with the Bucky. And Jason punishes the situation on the other end. As they retreat out, there will be no saving of that rifle here. That's going to force Akron to start over again.
For Akron, that was a definitely decent position for them to be in, regardless of 2v4. I think, unfortunately, there's a little bit of a calm situation there with NebJam not being able to take the Bucky shot, but definitely they had the right idea there to kind of turn things around and make it an expensive round for the side of Georgia. But now here, of course, the 3-round advantage, Georgia's feeling pretty strong and overconfident, so they're going to go ahead and just push into those types of situations.
Well, they definitely feel like they have the. It definitely seems now that the confidence is starting to build as well for UGA. Like you mentioned, they pulled away here with T-Rex. I mean, is it confidence or is it just the way things work? If you're making shots like that, it just kind of feels like the way of the world, right?
That indeed. Pete is going to go ahead and make his way into Heaven B, find a nice nade. Erebus is going to go ahead and get a pick on Cheek Clapper. Pete ready to trade it out immediately and immediately turn through stairs to cover, but Girthy Guy is going to find 2 picks on Trex and Nosebleed. Too much dog taking revenge on Pete. And now it is the side of Akron.
Oh, Jason, the hesitation there. There it is, trying to bait out exactly that push from NebJam, but NebJam comes through the smoke. With their Vandal ablaze, they get the kill. Ooh, that was a frisky round there. That was a dangerous one for Akron, but they respond once again. They've weathered these storms, and they've been able to punch back to a certain extent, but now down 8-10, it's getting to that point, right, where you're either, you know, if you're Akron, maybe you're playing to try to extend this and see if you can force an overtime situation. You'll have your money up every round if that's the case. If you're UGA, you're right there, right? You're right on the edge of shutting it down and winning the night. But you've got to execute. You've got to finish on these pushes on a map that you said, Ashkan, and what we've seen is kind of the truth. Is pretty tough to be attacking into.
Absolutely, and most of all, they have to be wary of Akron right now because Akron has those 5 ultimates all up. So they are ready for a strong retake whenever they need to. And, you know, losing a round in a poor economic position really snowballs the game out of your hands.
Especially when you don't have that many rounds to give in the first place. What we're seeing patience here from UGA is they do not want to overcommit to any angles. They don't want to lose this lead any more than they already have. And you can tell there's a respect between both teams, right? At this point, we've seen enough turnarounds, enough flicks, enough good shooting, and some tremendous grenade tosses that both sides know they've got to be on point if they want to win this. See Erebus here. Look off that flash decently well, and they do find Nosebleed. But Clapper's there to get the kill and the res. It's too much Doc who steps up to try to respond. They get one, but it's Pete, T-Rex, and Nosebleed. Just too much right now of UGA. As Girthy Guy is going to get flamed, mollied, shot. And it's going to be 11-8 here for UGA.
A great use of that ult there by Cheek Clapper to kind of bring up that extra teammate and sort of create the sense of urgency to force NebJam to take that extra peek from stairs, which enabled the side of UGA to kind of find the extra pick, right? NebJam opens himself up to a firefight, and they end up taking it.
There it is. So now, if you're UGA, you're only 2 rounds away from winning this. But you still got a lot of work to do here, although you see with the weapons on the side of Akron, this one is rough here. It's Pete again. The utility finds its way there, and the Bomba is going to push A-Smith back. Pete, you're trying to convince people that the Rays' abilities are really strong here. Man. This is there's a lot of work being done here by Pete's grenades and Boomba decision making.
Definitely clearing those angles and forcing the side of Akron into 50-50s where they have to either get shot or get blown up.
Indeed, here see Erebus. Would love to find something a little bit more useful on the ground than that shorty to try to get this retake, and this is a crucial retake attempt for Akron. If they don't find this, they'll be on match point. There's Nosebleed getting a molly out with the running back. Also, you know, spinning an ult to get a molly down. It's not the best, but it helps him set up. He pushes through the smoke, gets one, and some good damage as well before Erebus is able to take out NebJam. As the defuse is happening, there's Erebus. They find Jason. T-Rex is still left alive, however, and that's who Erebus has to contend with here in long as the molly goes out and Erebus overestimates how much life they have. They fall in the swarm.
Match point.
Very intense Sentinel versus Sentinel situation there in that last round, and definitely an amazing job by Trex to sort of stay back, stay out of sight, and choose to use utility over taking the aim battle, which is, you know, right now, if we wanted to just look at stats, you can tell that they are doing fantastic in terms of the A battle, but for them to have that sound decision making to even get rid of any and all possibility of failures is just impressive.
And that has led them to this moment now. Match point here for UGA. You see the pressure being attempted there by NebJam, and that's punished as T-Rex gets the kill. Earthy guy trying to set something up, right? Uses the ultimate, but it's really just, it's flash and no substance, as that was just a stun there, but there was no follow-up there from Akron. Maybe just buying some time for the rest of the Zips to get over towards this A site. As Too Much Dog activates the ultimate, and just off of that, loses 80 plus health. Erebus finally gets some good news for Akron. They get the kill on Pete. That's going to lead to the res on NebJam, but there we see Erebus fall again. And so it's still an agent advantage here for UGA. And with all of this, Akron hasn't locked down any sites, right? They haven't given themselves much to work with. And T-Rex, you see there, as the ultimate up, they're going to push this, make this B site to play. And A Smith is the one who's going to have to field the initial push.
Caught one. Cage triggered.
Goes ahead and gets some information, uses his cages to find 3 kills through the cages, immediately stopping that push. And it is now a sole Phoenix for the side of Georgia, working his way up to Heaven B on the flank of NebJam, who is just about to see him, and they go through the gunfight. Nosebleed is going to end up with the win. Position revealed in a 1v2 situation. He needs to find the bomb. He needs to get 2 kills to win this round. He has no time to plant. But Georgia's going to go ahead and retreat into B main, not even giving him the opportunity, and it is... Akron is retreating. And it's a huge save.
Last player standing.
Nosebleed does find a 4th kill there, but it's just kind of a little bit of a... It's a courtesy clap right there. Not too much for it. If you're Akron, you'll take that trade-off every single round until overtime. A Smith there with what may be the best spray we've seen in the CVL, right? Maybe a match-saving fuselage there, as they single-handedly get 3 kills and didn't sight a single person. They just knew they were in the smoke.
Exactly. That's the kind of disgusting Cypher play that you expect out of the split B Cypher hold, and A Smith definitely delivered with that triple kill through the smoke.
Now the pressure slowly mounts. But if you're UGA, you know that that's more of a blip than it is the rule. It's just something that you deal with when you play Valorant. Sometimes you play somebody and they just do something that's really dope. You see the weapons here for Akron. They're still not online with rifles. It's mostly Spectres. Not something that UGA can look to take advantage of, as they once again pull this push very slowly, right? They're stringing it along, trying to get more and more intel out of Akron ahead of time.
Here.
You know, T-Rex would love to make that operator become a factor in this match.
He'd love to operate the operator.
Dead.
Oh, we see Too Much Dog coming into ropes, but Pete is going to find him.
Nosebleed's ultimate doesn't amount to much here. Erebus takes out Pete, but Clapper with the response as well. The rotations have been on one for UGA. Akron hasn't been far behind from it, but this is the value of those trade outs. Now you still have the agent advantage. And Girthy guy is low on health, but NebJam gets a great shot there to kill Nosebleed from Heaven. They're going to force this situation on Jason, who does find NebJam, but is very low, and there's only 9 seconds left. So T-Rex needs to get into the site quickly. A Smith gets 2 again and drops the spike with it.
And he finds the last kill on Sheep Clapper with the headshot to save the round as well as the game.
A second straight 3K round for A Smith. They pull it back once again, forcing this further along. Every time it seems like UGA is right there. They're just about to execute one final play, one final push, and put this map to bed. A Smith has stepped up to field the call for Akron. They're still in this once again as we head into round 23. Despite all of this, oh, there's Too Much Dog there. What an opening pick there to take out Pete. And I
Definitely
don't think
gives-
Erebus is, or I'm sorry, I don't think Clapper is particularly close to their ultimate either. So I think that one's going to stick. And even if it won't, there's T-Rex getting a response there for Too Much Dog. The walls get worked here back and forth between these two teams.
Too Much Dog's initial pick sort of relieved Akron of a little bit of stress, but to get kind of traded like that immediately definitely brings back that sort of intensity to this round. We're seeing the seconds fly by, 40 seconds already off the clock. Georgia kind of needing to make a move as they go into heaven. Nosebleed might find himself in a gunfight with Nebjam as a flash comes out. And here comes the rope riding technique as Nebjam takes out Nosebleed. And heaven is still under the control of Akron.
Sorry about that. We just heard a bit of the Akron crowd, I believe, there, piping through with the defense chant. See Girthy Guy gonna try to get some damage down there. They get taken out by Clapper, and T-Rex finds Nebjam. There's only 2 remaining there as Erebus gets the kill on T-Rex, evens up the numbers, heals up, and then takes out Clapper. Ashcon, as we see Jason get this plant, it's gonna be very aggressive here on the A site and very hostile for anyone who likes spikes.
Well, there comes A. Smith with a nice covering his drop down sound with the sound of firing his rifle. We have Jason in this corner. There's only one place left for him. He's gonna find the pick on Erebus, but A. Smith is around the corner to trade it, and that's the kind of play that you get in a 2v1 situation that, unfortunately, if everything goes according to plan, you're gonna drop it every time. But Jason still getting that first initial pick, doing amazing to hold his ground.
Indeed he was, and that was just the value of it. Keeping those agents up. It's these one-on-one that Akron has just kind of rolled over into entire rounds, multi-kills. We were talking about the rotation of UGA earlier, but these past few rounds, they haven't had those, and that's really been a very important factor in this defense for Akron, as they once again, they salvaged off now 3 straight match points. If they do it again, they're going to send this into overtime and really have a chance to make a full comeback.
That indeed. Right now, we're seeing UGA controlling only the B main part of the map. It seems that they are intending to do a fast push. That indeed they are. They have both Pete and Nosebleed deep into the site. Nosebleed's going to find Erebus. A-Smith will get Pete, but Jason will trade out A-Smith, and we're going to go ahead and see UGA with the man advantage. Not 2, but 3. Or sorry, not 1, but 2 up, with the rest coming out from Cheap Clapper. Too Much Dog on the flank, spotted by Trex. He's going to go ahead and push in regardless. Get caught in a crossfire. T-Rex taking the final kill. Jason getting Girthy Guy, trying to push out a tree. Nebjam finding a pick, but unfortunately falls
Attackers win
to the ultimate of
Hellfire.
Brimstone. Yeah, Hellfire is... Woo!
There it goes. That's a very, very strong defense mustered there by Akron near the end, but ultimately just a hole too deep for them to dig themselves out of. Even with A-Smith's heroics, as you see there, those last couple of rounds definitely pushing A-Smith to the top of the kill board. But overall, just that team-based assault there from UGA, too much for the Zips to overcome. We saw Pete doing a lot of work. We saw T-Rex with a couple of very important clutches. But even at the end there, even though Jason's at the bottom of that kill feed, you saw in that last round, it was really Jason who came through to tie things together for UGA, showing how well this 5-stack works together. Akron wasn't far behind. Of course, you see they were only 2 rounds behind. But in the end, just a little bit too much, just a little bit too much intelligence, it feels like, for UGA, right? Just their decision-making was so crisp. They were so on it. I feel like it may have been the biggest difference between these two teams, at least today on this map.
Definitely this time around, UGA brought towards a little bit of a better on-site analysis. You know, it's always easy to say what will happen and what could happen on a map with a presented team. But they of course blew away expectations, holding the defense side, kind of breaking the half even 6-6, but then continuing on to what should have been a disadvantage half and finding the win on that half, which definitely blew away my own expectations. And I found myself just constantly impressed by them.
Well, folks, we appreciate you for sticking around here for our first of 3 matches this evening. Of course, we want to take a moment to thank our partners all around, MSI. By the way, if you're not entered into the exclamation mark giveaway, get yourself entered. They are giving away a free, Free, absolutely free laptop. So want to thank MSI for that, as well as our other partners over at CEV, the Clear Eye View folks who have gifted us some sunglasses, or some blue light glasses. Sure, they're not sunglasses, they're blue light glasses. Help you when you're looking at these screens too much, as well as the California State University Entertainment Alliance, the folks over at AIM Labs, as well as Ritual Motion, Radiance.gg, and of course our exclusive headset sponsors, HyperX, who have blessed us all with some high quality merch. But we will be seeing some more Valorant on the other end of this break. It will be the University of California, Santa Barbara going up against San Diego State University in a classic Cali v Cali match for the OG for AshCon. I am Eli the Curry, and we will see you all on the other side of this break.
Where's all the lovers with desire hiding? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to.
Welcome back, you filthy Valorant casuals, to Season 2 of the Collegiate Valorant League, hosted by the Gamers EDU, hosted by me. I am your part-time host / full-time Iron Rank Duelist main, Queen V. We have 2 more matches lined up for you guys tonight, the next one being between UCSB versus SDSU Red. But I did want to take a moment, I did want to take a breath and thank our sponsors. Thank you to HyperX, CEV, Twitch Student, Radiance.gg, and MSI, who is our title sponsor and who is currently hosting a giveaway that you guys can enter right now. If you type in !giveaway in chat, you will get a chance to win a MSI laptop. So make sure you take advantage of that right now because the giveaway is for a limited time only. It only is going to last for a couple more days, so make sure you hop on that while you can. You can find all of our sponsors' info down below in the panels, as well as all of our social media here at the Gamers EDU. Make sure you give us that cheeky little follow, or you join our Discord, or you do both. We want to be there to remind you guys when your favorite teams play, because they're going to be playing a lot over these next 3 months, and we wouldn't want you to miss that. Also, last but not least, is a little disclaimer. I did want to remind everybody in chat to please, please, please be respectful. Please keep it classy. I'm not your mom. I shouldn't have to tell you to behave, but please behave. Our casters, our players, and most importantly, you guys, our community, deserve to have a safe and inclusive space that isn't isolating anybody, because you can support your favorite teams without making anybody feel bad. You know, that's very, very doable. And now, before I pass it on over to your casters for the evening, the lovely Ash Khan, the lovely Eli the Curry, I'm going to send you guys on a quick break. Make sure you're hydrating and posture check-in in the meantime. We'll see you guys in chat. Bye, guys.
You know I've never felt this weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I try to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you that stopped this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess.
Where's all the lovers with the hiding? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. Something basic. Where's all the mistakes? but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to.
All right, folks. I hope you've enjoyed your break. I hope you've enjoyed the other Valorant gameplay that may or may not be happening at the exact same time. Although we know there's nowhere you'd rather be than here at the Collegiate Valorant League, brought to you by the Gamers EDU. I am Eli the Curry, joined by Ashkan, and our second match of the night is about to kick off. This one between the University of California, Santa Barbara, going up against San Diego State University. We're heading back to Split, Ashkan, and I would just ask you if you could just give us a quick recap on some of the key factors of Split, some of the things maybe you saw from our last match between Akron and Georgia when it comes to what you do on Split and how to make the map yours, or take advantage of the map's positioning.
So definitely a whole lot of mid control is necessary for this map, right? We kind of saw in our first match there that regardless of whether you were going A or B, someone was kind of left in the mid either to catch a rotator or to have a sort of two-pronged attack. So whether on defense or offense, you don't want to let mid go.
Go. Control of the map, one of the key factors really in winning and winning anything, basically. Positioning factors over everything. So we see the two teams loading in here. I think this will be our first look at this San Diego State side. Obviously, we've seen San Diego State from last year, and they're one of the returning teams. But I do believe this is our first time getting a look at their diamond side here. But some of the names we're starting to see pop up here are some of these agents. We saw Viper for just a second here. Now we see Sky flashing up as Rigby cycles through their options. But it looks like they're going to be going with something a little bit less exciting than all that and just going with a very, very useful Cypher.
I'm definitely liking the Raze picks here. And of course, we saw the use of Raze in our last match with those amazing nades. But just for a more simple use, we know that Raze, because of her grenades as well as her boombot, has a sort of long distance control over angles, forcing people off of them with her nade and clearing them and getting information with that boombot.
Yeah, it's I think she's a difficult agent to make work in some instances. As Baby Voice Cardi here will get locked in. But we've got Raze on both sides. We've got no Sage out of either side here, so that'll be the first time we see that in a couple of matches here on Split, and we'll see whether or not the extra, I don't know if you would call it the extra bit of aggression maybe you could get, or the extra utility in the case of the Cypher, is more useful for these two teams, but remains to be seen.
Now, what I'm seeing here for SDSU right now, their advantage is having the Cypher pick. Cypher's tripwires can be destroyed by Raze nades, so, UCSD is in a little bit of a good position there, but they're going to be getting rid of some massive utility just for that purpose, right? Whereas a Sage Dash or a Sova Shock Dart may be a little bit more useful, where Jet Dash can be used to get in as well as break the wire, and the Sova Shock Dart, you have two of them.
You see the loadouts going out here for the two teams as we begin this pistol round. And a reminder, for every CVL match of the regular season, you are going to have each team taking turns attacking and defending. Flash is coming out now. Jazzo making their way. Go ahead.
UCSB already deep into the A site. Hachi hiding behind the screen on site is going to get spotted by Slays and gets slain. We have Rigby here on the retake side of Heaven A with a partner. He's going to go ahead and hold ramps as the site is taken by attacking team. We're going to have a little bit of a fight here between Heaven A, but unfortunately the lamp comes up ropes and ends up shooting Rigby with the ghost. Gatul holding the A main.
Flash there, but look at this. Slays handles the flash. Takes Cardi and Hokage, and young AFK is there to get the revenge. Oh, no, no, no. That is not how you want to see a corner, a corner push executed. Unless you're a Santa Barbara fan. In this case, like you're like more like that, please. More plays like that from Slays.
Yeah, tight corners on pistol rounds are definitely a very, very dangerous gamble to take.
Yeah, you don't want to open yourself up to those right clicks. Those are Eli the Curry shots, right? You don't want to be allowing better players to get Eli the Curry shots. Okay, if I could do it, you don't want to let somebody like Ruff or one of these members of these Slays get a chance to do it. As we see Slays get a push up on that box there, Hokage gets punished. That angle has been very treacherous to try to hold, as we have not seen it successfully defended very often. Hokage there paying the price. The lamp gets flashed and wisely gets out of dodge.
Amazing flash combo with Baby going to go ahead and take the swing off of it. Gatooled finding the pick on Hachi. Rigby here to perhaps find the trade, but he's going to go ahead and get flooded as the rest of UCSB come up through ropes. He's going to take a few shots, and he's going to get them low, but unfortunately not able to pick off those members of UCSB. And
great
there's
shot
Rolf
there
and
from
Cardi left alone.
Chazo there did a great job, didn't panic. They got lit up, right? Taking so much damage. You can see Chazo has almost basically no health left, right? They're going to get, anything touches them on any part of their body, they're going to fall. But they get that kill and at least get to set up and get a first shot. And I think we've only got 2 members of the other team remaining. You want as many of those opportunities as possible. As you see Rolf here will deviate, try to clear out Heaven first. Get tooled, however. Twigs to that usage. There's Chazo going down to Cardi. And that gets a gun, but maybe time has elapsed enough here. If you're at San Diego State, you just gotta fall back. Well, Rolf will fall over because that's what getting shot in the head does to you.
Indeed, UCSB with a very aggressive post. Well, I wouldn't know if I'd call a post plan with the bomb just about to go off, but Cardi is going to find their 3rd pick of the match. The Lamp trading it out. Very, very... I can't really say expensive because now this ends up becoming a buy round for UCSB, and although it's a buy round for both sides, you know, we get that sort of break-even play.
Yeah,
unless
it's looking like here that's a very frugal decision if UCSB is gonna opt for that, and they're just gonna hold on to everything. It looks like. Meanwhile, naturally, you've got San Diego State. They're gonna amp up, right? They're all gonna buy into this. They can't afford to start losing too many rounds in a row, but this is unique. You don't usually see pistols and a bulldog for a team that's up 2 rounds, even if they don't fully buy. Never really see Spectres, some LMGs, or some SMGs out in this time, but...
Hokage finding 2 picks, holding that Heaven beat tight. He's not letting anyone come through to Lamp with the Ghost, trying to find a peek and a fight, and so he does, but unfortunately he gets hit. Half his health is gone, and he's going to go ahead and choose to retreat.
I think if you're the Lamp there, obviously you're expecting a different agent. I think maybe you're expecting actually to see Rolf maybe on the breach, and that's why you look off that angle right before you turn around so you don't get flashed as heavily. And unfortunately, we're just not ready for a gunfight as they turn the corner. So they set up here Hachi there on the long angle. The shots don't do much, but they do alert the rest of your team that there's something to be done over on this side.
That indeed. Gatooled and Young AFK pushing into the Heaven B, taking control. Rolf finding his pick on Young AFK. Rigby on the Lamp finally on the B side. And Rolf with the 2nd pick, getting rid of Gatooled. And that is the first round on the board for our side of SDSU. And so that was a little bit of a, I want to say, preventable decision on the side of UCSB, but of course with 2-1 there's plenty of rounds to go, and with a breach ult on the table, I don't think they're afraid of anything.
Yeah, I mean, it may have just, it's a gimme, right? They don't buy basically any weapons for that. They really just save a lot of money for that, and we've not seen these 2 teams with any rifle rounds. We don't know of any scrims they may be doing off stream. Possibly that's something that, you know, UCSB is just aware of, but there's Hachi getting get tooled to begin with. Young AFK will trade that back out. Now we see the A side here. Just a little bit of action going on there. As UCSB has not thoroughly committed to anything, but their eyes are on the midpoint there. As you see the lamp taken out as they were trying to clear the path up through mid. Dead now UCSB down an agent.
Hokage has definitely been nasty with that mid jet hold. We saw him in that last round getting the double pick, and this time around halting the mid push.
It's the angle that Hokage really has decided, or that area. And, you know, when you have somebody who can shut down whole areas of the map, it makes defense much easier for you and much more difficult for the attackers. As we see Raw Fear gets flashed. Steps to the side there. There's not a massive threat, but they've got to be ready here, as now you can see UCSB really with a couple of key flashes. Good timing on those. They get into the site here. There's a fight for Chazo. They win over Cardi. And that's well done here. They get the Killjoy ult down as well. So this is the play now for UCSB, saying, take it or leave it, but we are going to make this spike run. There's another ultimate as well. You can see using the ultimates to push the timer on the spike. They know they're going to have to take fights, but how long will SDSU have? As you can see, Hokage getting flashed, Rigby falls. There's Hokage getting the kill, but time is such a factor now. You see the swarm grenade on the spike. There's Chazo with grenades. It's utility all over the B side here. And even as Raw gets 2 kills, they don't have time to get the defuse.
And he falls to the bomb explosion, unfortunately, but definitely a great showing of aim, patience, corner peeking. That's the kind of mechanics that you love to see. And we see a little bit of joking here with a pause of DDoS going back and forth. Young AFK apparently needing a little bit of time to get the connection fixed up, ready to go. And now we get a little bit of time to discuss.
Had a lag spike there. Unfortunate, especially because these are 2 California teams. So you know those servers went straight over to NorCal immediately for the 2 teams. So any, you know, ramp up and ping, any lag detection is going to feel very, very notable for these teams. Because we are all, of course, playing remotely. In this day and age, you'd have to expect it. Although, you know, traveling around for Collegiate Valorant League, maybe one day, you know, wouldn't hurt. I wouldn't be mad about it. Be kind of nice. But for now, everybody's at home. You don't want to have to deal with any excess delay if you can get away from it. So, but it does look like we have gotten the all clear signal. So it's a minor hiccup. It's unfortunate, but it looks like we'll be able to play through it very quickly.
Going into this 5th round, what I'm most concerned about is UCSB. You know, they threw down both of those ultimates. They did secure the round with it. But now they've kind of set themselves in a position where they can't really expect either of those, the take ultimate from Breach and the take ultimate from Killjoy, to be used within, you know, 2 or 3 rounds. They've sort of they've put themselves in a position where they're limited to what utility they have in their default kit.
Well, and it's an age-old question, right? How much is too much when it comes to winning a round? We saw, you know, from the gunplay aspect, they needed to push that timer down in order to win that round, as Rolf was able to clutch out the final kill. Had it been unlimited time, Rolf would have had, of course, enough time to go back and defuse. So to your point, Ashkan, if that is what ends up happening again, you know, UCSB won't have that time. But the question is, did they position themselves specifically to use those ults, or are they simply planning to feed that Breach and Killjoy and see how often they can run what is an expensive but we know very effective setup once the spike goes down? And I would say for my portion, we saw them move into the B site with basically 1 or 2 flashes and some solid movement. And there you see Chazo with a brilliant shot on Rigby. So I think from UCSB side, it's just do what you got to do to get a lead established, and then trust your fundamentals from there to carry you through. And at least for the start of this round, it looks like it's a good decision.
Definitely so. With that early pick, it's going to be a very, very tough spot for SDSU to kind of pick themselves back up. They have, positioning-wise, 2 players stuck on the B site and 2 players pinched on A, as we see 3 coming through road from the side of UCSB. Hokage flashed off the operator and shot from the flank by Getuld, who's in main, but Hachi is going to spray down 3 members of UCSB and completely turn this match around, even though the site has been taken by UCSB and a Killjoy is up. a 3v2 situation is certainly not an easy one.
No, and it's like you said, it's Hachi who just changes the complexion of this. Forces, basically just forces the push through for UCSB, right? Forces them to fully commit. We see Cardi here gonna come through with that ultimate. They take out, get to a beautiful shot right there, right at the back wall. Hachi gets their 4th kill of the round, and the defuse comes through here for San Diego State as they get their 2nd round on the board.
Young AFK did get a little bit of a quick pick there to kind of before they passed, and good for a little bit of an econ chip damage. So even under that 3v1 pressure, kind of hunkering on down and finding themselves and doing the damage they need to do. Much respect out there. Right now, UCSB having that round turned on them has given them a little bit of a deficit in their economy. So they're going to go ahead and I think play up of mid with these short shotgun pistol angles is what we're going to see.
We saw how conservative they were on that bonus round in the 3rd round, right? They were more than willing to sit back and perhaps lose a round here. As you see Hokage, operator versus some pistols and some shorties. I know which one I would pick if I could have my preference, but I think it's just the nature of UCSB. They're really conservative, maybe, but just patient, maybe the better word for their decision making. They're just not rushing this. They don't feel the need to try to overexert. You see Cardi get a couple of kills there, hardly take any damages. Now Rigby gonna follow up here with the judge, take out the lamp, and there's not a lot left here, but the Crying as Slaves is gonna be converged on. Their flash, Cardi gets their 3rd kill of the round. It's cut and dried, very simple execution here for San Diego State, but it's the 2nd round that UCSB is really not thoroughly contesting, right? Certainly not throwing everything they could at it.
Definitely, and certainly when you're already that far down in terms of weaponry, it's a good idea to sort of not commit yourself too much to a round. I am a little bit concerned for them though, because Cardi getting those 3 extra picks in that round brings them that much closer to their ultimate again. They're already halfway up the bar, and we saw how effective it was for the retake 2 rounds ago. So I wonder what's going to happen when Cardi gets it up for a 2nd time in this half.
That's a good question, and it may go to the point of, as we see Chazo missing their rocket. That is very unfortunate. They missed the pack jump angle, and Hokage is there. It's like somebody tried to swing over a shark out in the ocean and didn't get it. The shark says, "Oh yeah, free food. I like it."
Rolf makes contact with the lamp, decides to pull off, just taking the information as is. He took not a lot of damage. We could call it chip damage. And he just communicates it all. We see a stronger rotation towards the mid ropes. A-side Heaven from SDSU. UCSB making a fast entry into Heaven with a flash in. Cardi falling off the rafters. Nade going out, and we see that 2nd nade of the night into mailroom. Gatul finding Rolf finally at stairs with a nice aggressive angle. Healing in his molly he placed on stairs. Cardi finding the headshot onto Lamp. Slays getting Cardi for the trade. And UCSB is on the site with the spike, but they cannot plant because they have no idea what it is. They are Gatul trying to hit a nice flank, but Hokage with the op shot slays, finding a trade on Rigby, going to flash out, finds Hachi, and it is a 1v1 Hokage on the op, and he hits the shot, or whips the shot, knives come out, and it takes 2 for the kill. Hokage with their 3rd pick of this round, slaying Slays, and putting a 4th round on the board for his team.
It's an expensive round there for Hokage, one who has already spent a lot of credits. You see that operator on deck, that's 5,000 credits invested, but 2 kills with the operator, a 3rd kill with the Blaze Storm. If you're looking to get value out of those decisions, you found it there. And it's really Hokage's way to win that round for SDSU. And now get them the lead for the first time in this map. So now those 2 rounds that we CSB maybe just didn't really tightly contest, and obviously, they weren't likely, but you see Cardi there, another showstopper. That's just exactly what you were talking about, Ashkin. There they are again.
Oh, full flash. Hokage drops the op, taken by Slays with the frenzy. Hachi's going to go ahead and make the trade.
There's nobody there to follow up for Slays. That's very curious, right? Nobody was there to fully push that flash, which was very good. You think with maybe some more pressure, maybe another couple of frenzies, that could have been something frightening. Instead, there's the lamp getting flashed here. Rolf, he flashed himself a little bit as well. Didn't follow up with it, but Get Tool taking damage, and it's some rough look right now as Rolf takes out the lamp. Gonna finish that off. Young AFK and Get Tool left alone here. Well, not a lot to do as you see Cardi here setting up with that that operator from Okage's house, and there's the shot there, just a tad bit off, but this information is out that it is a B-side push. Ooh. Okay, Get Tool. Okay.
Now, when you have a breach on the side of the retake, you are not happy. And here it comes. That ultimate is going to come out, rocking the floor. Young AFK stun gets taken out by Rigby, and so does Get Tooled. Rigby goes ahead and goes for the defuse, passing it on to his teammate, who just used that breach ultimate for the retake, guaranteeing that round. No mistakes whatsoever, no risks. You know that in this kind of match environment, when the corners are tight, you do not want to bet on your opponents missing their shots. All of these 10 players are talented. They were not giving anyone the chance to turn that match or that round around.
You kidding me? Taking rounds for granted in this economy? No, sir, says San Diego State. They're looking to get everything they can. They pushed out a 2-round lead here. UCSB, who had that kind of laid-back style approach to some of these rounds, right? Just fully saving, not really worrying, throwing a lot of ultimates up. Now they are fully tooled. All 5 members of UCSB have their ultimates online, and so if there's going to be another heavy investment from them, it looks like this will be the one, as Cardi looking to get very aggressive here. They push Get Tooled up into that corner. They get the kill there. And look at this. Cardi looking to push this advantage a little bit more. Try to get a little bit more damage to get a second kill. Slays does take out Hokage, but look at the damage done. You see the raise on the side of UCSB is very low. And Slays and Get Tooled, the only ones left up. But look how far back they are in the map. Look at the screen control, the map control right now that San Diego State has.
Pushed down into a man down situation. UCSB is going to crawl the way over to the A side. They left Chazo to lurk a little bit, perhaps maybe to hear what's going on. Maybe they get pushed, and that they are. We see Hatchie going in, and he's going to go ahead and verify that UCSB is no longer at the entrance. He's going to go ahead, clear up garage. But while they're doing that, it's one person left alone on the A site, Rigby, as he gets pushed by 3. He has to be ready. If Phantom is out, he has a one-way angle. He's going to get young AFK through that little sliver, smoke himself off, and he's going to buy himself time for his team to make their way through. Intense situation between Slays and Rigby, and it is Rigby who falls. Slays pulling through 2v3, 10 seconds on the clock. The bomb goes down. Rolf out in heaven. Big voice Cardi, 7 health, and he's going to go ahead and walk up main towards Chazo.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, there's Cardi with their 3rd kill of the round. Again, Cardi has been so crucial as Slays gets stunned up. Cardi gets a 4th with another wonderful grenade toss. Let's see, Cardi is going to almost have a chance to do, what, 2 showstoppers in 3 rounds, something like that? Incredible right now. The aggression and the execution here for San Diego State, it's starting to really pour on here. They are pulling away from UCSB, who didn't get any utility out of those ultimates, right? I talked about them. There was much to do about it, but the way the round went, they just didn't find an opportunity for a single one. Now they're going to be possibly going up against another one. We know Cardi was very aggressive in garage last round. There's an ult point there. Maybe Cardi looks to see if they can get another kill or that ult point and get the showstopper and turn it on again.
Right now, UCSB with both Killjoy and Breach ultimates for the entry get tooled as well. You know all of these 3, Phoenix, Breach, and Killjoy, will get you into a site. The question is, which one will they use? Killjoy ultimate falls onto the floor. We see a Boombot going out. Cardi in a little bit of a cheese angle here for this double stack. Slays. Oh, Cardi retreating very elegantly with a blast pack, but he is detained and gets show-stopped by Chazo. Rolf taking out Slays, who tries to cross into the site, get tooled with his ultimate. Finds one on stairs. The lamp with the flank through mid gets rid of Hokage, and with the information knowing that someone is stairs, going to go ahead and engage in a little bit of a gunfight. Rest of his team, having secured the site, falls off.
And that's a valuable tag up there, at least as far as the information is. Rolf now will get to work, but they know Rolf is a factor up in heaven. And so you can figure the other angles here as Rigby comes around there. They do find Get Tooled, and there's a flash there. Rigby is able to take out Young AFK as Rolf puts in a little bit more work there as well. Chazo gets the kill there. They're going to try to save this, but it's Rolf again who has been money down over here on the B site. Rolf has been uncontested, really. They get a triple kill, and it's another round for San Diego State, who just look almost unstoppable once they fully engage in these fights.
Definitely Rolf and Rigby to be thanked for that round. With the initial pick Rolf took, as well as, of course, finishing it off, and Rigby finding the double pick on both Getult and Young AFK, very easily lining them up and kind of navigating those short angles. Absolutely amazing. Of course, we cannot discredit the rest of his team as they held on and waited patiently for the groupings to occur.
Yeah, it's been a lot of composure for San Diego State. UCSB, when they move, they have moved with a lot of thunder and a lot of force. And the first couple of times we saw that happen, San Diego State reeled back. Now we're seeing them just kind of go with the flow for a little bit. They're not getting pushed too far out of position, but neither are they giving up, overexerting, as we see Young AFK. While I'm talking about that, Young AFK, with the kill there on Hokage as they drop through the ropes. That's a great way to get yourself a better gun. And a round where UCSB has a massive weapons disadvantage, they'll love to get more of that.
Here's his box again, but this time Rigby does in fact find a peek, but he gets immediately traded out by Chazo before the boombot gets to him. And as soon as I say that, UCSB is going to go ahead and move on up. They're going to try to take ropes towards B Heaven or B Heaven itself. They're kind of a little bit mixed up over here, but Gettool is going to go ahead and enter with his flashbang. A nade comes out. Rolf is going to go ahead and take some chip damage there. Falls off the stairs. Cardi patiently waiting on site with the judge ready to give judgment. Lands a shot onto Lamp and takes him out. Chazo another headshot with the deagle. Cardi falls. And Rolf is here left alone.
Chazo has really worked a lot of magic to keep this round in play for SB. Santa Barbara now really with an opportunity to win this. We see Hachi, who had a 4K round earlier in this game and who is definitely capable alongside Rolf there. They're going to drop down and Get Tooled. And so that fall down from heaven takes out a Phoenix. Even as Hachi retreats back up into heaven, it'll be Rolf looking to execute down there as Hachi cuts off the rotation from Chazo. That's this crucial second kill. Now you have to move on to that spike and try this defuse. This Hachi is going to be watching Young AFK at top there. Young AFK got to do something special. They get the kill there on Hachi. Can they step forward and punish Rolf before the defuse comes through? No, he can't. He had his Whoa! Oh, not like that. There's a lot of ways to lose a round of Valorant, but you hate to see that one. As Young AFK with a great shot, a great kill on Hachi up there in heaven. They miss the kill on Rolf for the defuse, and it's 8-3 San Diego State. Oh man.
Now this is looking like the split map prediction that I'm talking about, right? Where the defense is up, but of course it's not just the map, it's definitely the play by Rolf, Rigby, and Hachi kind of carrying us through these retakes as well as these holds.
Yeah, like it's just I say it again, it feels like the composure. It feels like for San Diego State, they're kind of, now that they've seen one or two of these plays, these formations, they're just like, okay, we know the cycle, right? We know the timing for it, and they're just rotating through. With exceptions for Hokage trying to go through ropes that one time. We see Hachi with the break. I wish they could have seen your face when that kill happened, Ashkai. We kind of react pretty heavily to some of these shots because there have been some really nice ones over the course of the season, but it's just one of those things that is always funny to see.
Most definitely, but let me tell you what isn't funny is the round gap right now, as UCSB is really looking forward to at least end this half 8-4, but it looks like SDSU is not going to let them. They're going to push right into this smoke, but Gettool is going to find both picks with that phantom spray transfer. Hokage stunned and an Omen not behind him. Ultimate does get canceled, but here we have an operator that does find the kill on Gettool. Surprisingly enough, Rolf finding a pick on Delamp, and somehow this round has evened out.
These are how haymakers on both sides. Look, we're going to see a big lead here from San Diego State no matter how this plays out. But I have a feeling heading in the second half, we have a lot more action to watch. So you see Cardi move down here through the rocket pack. We see young AFK going to work there, taking out Ralph. They're not going to get Cardi, but there's Slays on the other side. And so there's a round one for SB. But I tell you what, you got to be really thankful, I think, if you're San Diego State, that you're up 4 rounds. Because by the end of these last couple of ones, these two teams are not far apart skill-wise. And it's definitely going to come down to some extremely clutch decisions and some clutch executions here. And maybe, just maybe, the mentality, right? SB, we talked about 2 rounds. It feels like they kind of just took off, right? They really just didn't contest it too heavily. When you look at the spread of the scores right now, if they had won those 2 rounds, it'd be 6-6 right now. So maybe that's factoring in as well as we get our switching of sides here. And now it is on San Diego State. It's on them to be the initiators. It's on them to push up and make the decisions to begin with as they begin the pistol round on attack.
Get tooled here with an amazing flash and his partner an amazing stun. Ramp comes up, Hokage riding it up. Chazo and Hokage about to have a little bit of a Western duel. Baby Voice Cardi going ahead and run up on Slays with the classic right click. Hokage finally takes the swings on Gatul. Chazo to back him up. Another right click comes out. Gatul falls. But Chazo's going to go ahead and get traded out. Pardon me, he actually gets a kill. Hachi's going to go ahead and find Chazo. There we go. Young AFK sitting in screens alone. And he's going to go ahead and just kind of take his time to go up to Heaven A.
Yeah, now if you're... Oh, Hachi!
Wow.
Well, shut the door on your way out. Why don't you? A beautiful shot there to finish off that pistol round. It was well in favor of San Diego State, but Hachi leaves no chances and takes no prisoners. You know, we're seeing things happen in fast motion, right? And you're seeing, you know, look at the score line right now. Baby Voice Cardi and Hachi and Rolf, I think, just excellence in their execution, the way they've played. Cardi with 18 kills through 13 rounds. They are running up quite a score sheet.
SDSU is about to run it up onto A really, really quickly, but UCSB has Gamble stacked through the B garage. 4 players on B. If SDSU can kind of get a whiff of this, they'll get onto the site for free, especially on their buy round. And they do. Chazo's the only one left alone, and he gets taken out by Hokage. And it leaves the rest of UCSB to run around. Hokage finds a second pick, traded out by young AFK. But hey, you have a great man advantage as well as this weapon advantage. The spike is already down on A. Rigby is going to go ahead and get the flank around into Heaven. And it is not looking good for UCSB.
Foolish.
Rigby there with a big kill to find Get Tooled. And that's a crucial kill right there, right? You lose one of your main fighters without him even being able to put up anything. You lose Heaven here if you're SB, and now you've got to retake. You've got to figure out, are you going to try to put resources towards Heaven to begin with? Or are you just going to move down through mid as they watch over the top of you? You know you've got 4 other enemies on the field. Or do you just give up another round? It looks like that's the... Oh, they're going to try to ninja deep. There's no way you're getting it. What are you doing? Okay, what? They know. All right, well.
Interesting.
I don't know, man. As close as it feels like it's been sometimes in these gunfights, I can't say the same for some of these decisions we've seen from SB. Look, far be it for me to judge people. I'm not there in comms. I don't know what they're seeing. I don't even know what's happening on their monitors. But, yeah, it just seems a little weird to me approaching the spike as it's already about to go off. You have no hope of defusing it. I don't know, right? They weren't getting pushed. They didn't need to run somewhere. But
definitely a for fun moment right there. Something to goof and gap at because, you know, they're going into this buy round, right? Round 3 of this new half, and everyone has enough money to get a rifle. So perhaps they thought, you know, something to laugh at, give them maybe even a morale boost as they go into this 15th round, and they might find themselves winning and kind of closing that gap. So let's see what the effects of it are. Maybe I'm just reading too deep into it.
You don't make a habit of counting teams out in the CVL. Right? You won't make a lot of money if you do. As we see Get Tooled here, turn around and take out Rigby. That's what we're talking about. That's some of the aim that these members of Santa Barbara have displayed. see. You see Hokage's Blade Storm is up. Get tooled here in position. If they sight this there, they're going to get that information. Now they know this is where the push is coming as Slay steps out of heaven, gets two there. Cardi and Raw fall. Hachi does take out Slays. It looks like the spike will go down, and it's in time. It's Hachi and Hokage with the Blade Storm up. This is not a finished round just yet. If you're SB, you still got to execute. You see Hokage looking to take that short corner, get the knives into Chazo there, smokes off. The lamp kind of smokes himself, but still gets a kill on Hokage. That works out. Get Tooled, however, is the one who steps forward. They take out Hachi. As the lamp also got a kill there, and we see Get Tooled will now be able to get their ultimate up and ready as SB Santa Barbara gets the defuse and pulls one round closer now, 10-5.
There we go. They get that round back, closing that gap one step at a time. 5 more rounds to go to even it up. And, I mean, that hold by Slays, nothing short of impressive as he mows down 2 that got stunned, and Hokage sort of leaving their team behind, even though he has that Blade Storm and dash, right? He wants to open up the site, but when your team kind of gets stopped in their tracks like that, you sort of find yourself not doing a whole lot.
The lamp here, stepping forward. It's Cardi, who had been a menace in the garage on the defense here, but on attack, it's Chazo. It's another strong opening pick there. Get Tooled, who got it in the last round. These are the ones you need if you are Santa Barbara. These are the kills, those impactful frags, right? You've mentioned that phrasing before, Ashkan. Those kills that disrupt the other team, that force them to reset and start over again. Looks like that's sort of the case here for San Diego State as they pull back, reconfigure how they want to try this approach now down an agent.
So here we see what we were talking about earlier is that mid control, right? They're going up mid. SDSU not underestimating where they need to be. Rigby holding the A main, making sure no one flanks up. But the rest of his team is seemingly wanting to enter into Heaven B, and so they do. The flash comes out. Chazo throws that nade to kind of force them back. And again, time is ticking. 30 seconds are left on the clock. A stun comes out, and instead they walk the other way.
What it looks like now for San Diego State, like I said, they were trying to set this up, but it's a quick movement out here over to the A site. They've only got 9 seconds, and Young AFK is down in that site, so we'll be able to make a fight of this. But Cardi says, bring it on. They get the kill there. They rush to get this plant. Get Tool takes out Rolf. Hachi falls as well, but the spike does go down here.
Player standing.
Ooh, the lamp goes with the shot there on Rigby. Chazo takes out Cardi. It's the aim on point here for SB. You see Chazo sitting there on that showstopper ult. They'll have that ready for the next round if they desire. It's the second round in a row for Santa Barbara, as what was looking really unlikely starting to pull closer in the vision here. Santa Barbara's sense of urgency has definitely picked up, and their shots have been on point.
That indeed, we've seen DeLamp kind of, in terms of kills, lacking. Of course, he's doing his job as his controller extremely well, phenomenally. And now that last round, we see him pull up to get that pick on Rigby and definitely, find himself a place on the scoreboard a little bit more. And if he continues to do that, it's going to be the comeback of a lifetime for UCSB.
Well, they have the weapon advantage in this round as it is a save for San Diego State. All the same, you got to be careful with that. There's the lamp with another beautiful shot, taking out Hokage. Start things off right. Cardi steps forward in there with the sheriff, but it's not a very nice garage for you right now, Cardi. It's kind of rough on the other side of it. That flash comes through. They step back again. Just a lot of consistent pressure from SB. I don't know what got into them, right? I don't know when this switch kind of flipped for them, but they definitely feel the sense of urgency now. On around where they have a weapons advantage, we expect them to be comfortable here as we see Rolf able to get a good shot there on Slays. That was really nice. Slays took out Cardi. Rolf is at least able to make something happen of it.
Now Rigby here with that little lurk through the ropes, but unfortunately it is Get Tooled who's going to find him first as the head pops up. and gets taken off by the Vandal. UCSB both left in garage. The
30
lamp
seconds
here
left.
trying to climb up that scover a little bit more. He might want this fight. He's going to go ahead and smoke it out first. Rolf, as soon as he stuns, finds himself unable to take the peek as the line of sight is taken out. The lamp finds the headshot, sprays through the smoke to get his third kill of this round. Another headshot. I think all of his kills have been headshot kills that round.
I'm sorry. We were watching the same feed, right? Did he casually line up a no-look headshot through the smoke again? Okay, all right. Well, the lamp definitely turned the light on. Santa Barbara with their third round straight. Wasn't a great start to the second half for them, but they've come awake here. On the other side, though, you know, San Diego State ready to respond. We see weapons up for more players, so it'll be more contested this round than the last for sure. But again, the confidence from Santa Barbara, it just feels like it's something rough to deal with. We see Cardi here gonna look to make something happen with that showstopper, and that was very narrowly a big showstopper. Fortunately, Chazo is able to get out of dodge. Valkyrie would turn the corner. That's the wrong way to look there, sir. Unfortunately for them, they fall. Hokage does match up with Chazo, though. They get the kill there to keep it even. Slays here has a couple of looks there. They turn and they find Hokage. They'll get a second, maybe. No, Hachi! What a turn! As the lamp gets the revenge. Keeps it close, however, and Cardi now has a chance. They'll line up with the lamp, and the lamp gets a second. It's another headshot and B for the lamp. Are you surprised, Ashkan?
I am not. I speak it into existence. The lamp is climbing the leaderboards as we speak, and he is doing his team proud as well. And this defense is looking absolutely strong for UCSB. Man, oh man, this is the underdog story that you love to see in these types of matches. But of course, was he ever an underdog? Maybe he was just hiding his true power.
I mean, you know, they love to say it in the chat, right? Oh, they're just throwing for content, bro. It's just for content, bro. It's just content, bro. But right now, SB looks like they're filling it out. They're trying to get it processed, but still down 2 rounds here. It's another eco for San Diego State. But SB cannot fall behind on their laurels. It was that lackadaisical mindset that cost them so many rounds in the first half that caused them to fall behind. They're looking to push this even, make things closer here. You see the pressure coming down on Get Tooled. They'll get out of the way, throw that molly down to buy themselves some time. Cardi gonna move up into heaven, and they get some damage there. In fact, they kill Get Tooled and make it out there.
And they're in ropes already? Whoa, Cardi, what's going on? Chazo found a pick on Reby, but Cardi is already out in B, going up to B heaven, trying to find maybe a pick on a rotation.
I shook off what was going on after that kill there on Get Tooled. Right? I was just like, no, excuse me, I need to get through here. Excuse me. All right, well, there you go. It's even here at 4-4 with 42 seconds left in the round. But despite all of that, and as weird as it looked, however, SB has not given up an angle, right? If you look at this map positioning, San Diego State is still looking to find a way into a site. Am I wrong?
Yeah, that indeed. They're actually, I think, choosing to rotate over towards B, depending on if they can find a pick forward into the heaven B. But Hokage is also here, so they're sort of in a ready to rotate position. Hokage is going to go ahead and drop down through ropes after working their way up. Slays is going to find a pick on... Oh, yeah, okay, they do. On ball, resets the spray, finds a headshot on Hachi. The spike drops to the floor, and I don't think there's enough time to play it.
No, Cardi is not even going to go for it. They're just going to look to see if they can get some kills here on the way out. And the lamp sees that, realizes what time it's at, and just says, no, we got to get out of here. There's no reason to fight. And there it goes. It's another round for SB. That one, maybe a little bit closer than they would have liked, considering the weapon disparity. But they get through it all alive. And they're going to be well situated here as we get into the final portion of the second half.
That's the kind of round where it's chalked up to the micro players. Slays, I want to say, save that round for UCSB. Had SDSU been able to get onto that B site with all 4 players, it would have been the start of another momentum shift towards SDSU that we saw earlier, perhaps.
Well, there's Get Tool trying to make something happen with the operator. And we haven't seen one of those from SB for the, first portion of this, the first half, and even for most of the second half. There's Young FK. What a refocus there. They get 2. Oh, good shooting there from young AFK as Hachi able to stem the bleeding. Rolf takes out the lamp to even things up. The spike does go down as the utility comes through. Chazo takes out Hachi. Cardi takes out Slays, and there's some damage there. But Cardi is still up, and this is still 2v2. Oh my goodness, Cardi, how did it survive everything? Just walking through bullets.
Oh my god, Weasley, little son of a gun. He's really making it through everything.
Last player standing.
Ooh, there's Get Tooled right. Whoa, Cardi got the kill on Chazo with 6 health left. Now Get Tooled has a 2v1. They just need to sneeze on Cardi, but Rolf is alive and very, very angry. You know that is not a happy breach. If they have to do more work than is necessary, Get Tooled. They may just vacate this. Maybe they're looking for... No. I was thinking maybe they were pulling around, see if they could find a Vandal somewhere. But they're going to give it up. They're going to let that round go. And we'll see what that choice is. Because what we know, right, obviously we would have seen everybody. It would have been easier for us to consider whether that retake was worth it. For Get Tooled, you have an operator in hand. 5,000 credits. It's an important gun. It's one you bought. You would have had the money to buy it again had you fallen here. Is it worth it to take that fight and try to win that round, or was there too little time left?
So what we're seeing here right now is actually a much more advantageous economy for UCSB. Even though they're down 2 rounds, if they can go ahead and get, steal this round away from SDSU, they can snowball themselves back up to 11-11, and from that mental pressure, even further, perhaps either to round 12 and maybe even the win.
Well, if that is the case, it'll start here, but San Diego State, you win that round, one that was tightly contested. Very narrow here. They're going to push up on Slays. Okage showing a little bit of respect, though. Slays has been kind of dangerous here in the B side. It's the lamp getting the kill on Rigby to start things out. They're going to get stunned. Slays steps forward for it. Rolf shuts him down there in the mirror. The lamp here looking to get another one. They teleport in place. Trying to set things up here as the retake will begin as Rolf's plant comes down. The lamp had one beautiful shot through the smoke here, but they're going to go ahead and assuage any concerns that they maybe concede through the smoke if they let that go. And they do get taken out by Rolf. Get Tool gets a kill on Hokage, but it's Hachi who takes out Chazo and young AFK. Rolf gets their 3rd kill. Get Tool falls. The operator touches the ground, and it is match point now. San Diego State University.
And that is the downfall of the operators. Is not a great retake tool. Unfortunately, having one less rifle when you're looking to retake a site is a nightmare for the defensive team. And boy, oh boy, did SDSU rip themselves onto the site. I mean, pushing off Slays in that way that they did, forcing him into that back corner, just opened up everything they needed to find all the angles and take all the fights that they wanted to take.
Well, now we'll see what happens. We'll see what the pressure builds up. You talked about for SB, they wanted to flip the momentum. They didn't get that. Instead, they're bought in here. They have very little choice here as they need to win this round, then a couple of more in order to force OT. Here's Get Tooled. He'd love to get one. He's got the run it back ult, but he's not going to elect to. Actually, he does use it here. Try to set up and not get punished. Young AFK going to invest that Killjoy ult here to delay the plant. Get Tooled, run it back, gets thrown back. Rolf takes a lot of damage here. They do get the lockdown, but young AFK gets the punish. So it's an ult for a body. As Rigby's plant goes down here, Cardi takes out Chazo and evens it up with the spike down. San Diego State just needs to hold, and they will take this map.
Cardi and Hokage both finding amazing picks as the last 2 people on UCSD are nowhere to be found. The lamp finally making it to the fight, getting both Hokage and Hachi. 70 health left. It is doable, but will he understand that one is behind him?
Noah, the lamp has no eyes. Instead, it's going to be seen out here. Cardi's going to know about this from Rigby. There it is. The shot's coming through. The lamp steps. They get Cardi, but Rigby's there. The split works. And it is a split that takes split as San Diego State wins 13-9. The electric display right there. That was as dynamite a match of Valorant as we've seen in the Diamond Conference, perhaps in the league itself, as these two teams go back and forth with some amazing rounds. But I just harken back to it again, Ashcon. I mean, it's obvious, it's easy even with force or with hindsight to go, well, why would you give up rounds? Why wouldn't you contest when you would have had it. Maybe you could have traced these things around. But I just think about it, what we'll see. I can't. Let me just say this. I can't wait. I hope we're here next time these two teams play, because the way that ended, the energy that Santa Barbara brought to those last few rounds, even though San Diego State weathered the storm as they want to do, there's very nice weather in San Diego State, so they're quite used to managing good weather and things like that. But I am really excited to see what happens the next time these teams get at it, because that was one amazing game of Valorant.
Most definitely. I think that's going to be one of my favorites of this season so far, actually, at least in the round robin in this diamond bracket, because the intensity of just both teams, and I could feel the energy coming out from the side of UCSB when they were kind of bringing it back and trying to force their way up and clawing their way, especially from DeLamp specifically. I want to give him my personal round of applause, because that performance increase to consistently find two kills, 3 kills in rounds that, when we were seeing a little bit of an earlier deficit, he was definitely making it back. And also shouting out Rigby for kind of holding on to the flanks that he needed to hold, right? 2 players that we might not have seen so much on the scoreboard earlier, maintaining themselves and doing their job in a concrete based kind of way. And I just have so much to say, but I'm not going to keep going on and on. Just right, much respect to both of these schools.
It was a great match. It was one that we love to see, but we do have one more match for you tonight, and we are going to be getting a rather quick turnaround this time. So while we are going to go to break, we want to thank our sponsors, obviously the good folks over at MSI, as well as Clear Eye View, Radiant.gg, the California State University Entertainment Alliance, as well as HyperX, Ritual Motion, and AIM Labs. Can't forget about those folks. There's been a lot of, AIM Labs was looking good in that last match. There was definitely a lot of AIM Labs represented in that last match. But
for sure.
And our final match of the night, it will be San Jose State going up against CSU Dominguez Hills. And we will have that match beginning right on the other side of this break.
Been focusing on healing my fractured soul from all the harm and pain I once concealed. But the storm has come before the calm. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? For my mind is in an eternal fight with itself sometimes. You know I've never felt this weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I'm trying to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you to stop this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess. It's you that turns around this whole mess.
Where's all the lovers with desire hiding? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to.
right, folks, here we are. We have reached that point, the main event of the evening, our final match of the night. This is the Collegiate Valorant League, brought to you by the Gamers EDU. I am Eli the Carry, joined by Ashkan. Before we break down the two teams and get into it, we want to take a moment, of course, to thank our partners as well as, our sponsors. First off, the good folks over at MSI, who are giving away a free laptop, ! Giveaway. If you haven't already, make sure you get in on that. As well as the folks over at Clear Eye View, the California State University Entertainment Alliance, as well as AIM Labs, Ritual Motion, Radiance.gg, and of course our title sponsor, our headphone sponsor, those wonderful folks over at HyperX. Ashkan, we're going to be watching San Jose State University versus Cal State Dominguez Hills. There's a battle of two schools we have seen over the course of many months, from last year over to this year. But this is a different San Jose State team, right? This is their Diamond League team. This is the secondary squad. So not expected to be as dominant as their premier squad, but still quite a threat. And of course, Dominguez Hills with quite a few familiar names we've seen from last year. DCMH, Dongle, Bobik, we've seen them. But it's a new year. What are you expecting as you see these agents being selected here for our final split match of the night?
So finding the breach picks more and more in this diamond bracket has been something to me that definitely has been shifting the sort of flow of the attacking side, where I was saying that, oh, this map is all defense sided, but definitely this breach pick that we're going to be seeing will shift it up. With the duelist picks, I am surprised to see no Rays on the side of SJSU.
Yeah, it's Reyna instead from Nicotine Boy.
Yeah, she does. Reyna does do a great job of being able to pull off of a fight as soon as she gets the pick, or rewarding herself with a heal. But I feel like Raze on this map just certainly brings a lot more of a threat with her grenades. But we'll see how Nikki performs up in that Reyna agent pick, and hopefully my socks will get knocked off.
Yeah, we've questioned some decisions over the course of the season. We've wondered why certain things did that, and sometimes it's just been because it was the right play to do. Shout outs to the two people who reset their economy by running into the spike. I wouldn't have thought to do that, because I'm happy enough to survive any round, let alone consider whether it's actually the right thing to do. But we'll see here as Nicotine Boy gets situated on that Reyna. Like you mentioned, she's a very powerful agent. When she gets going, she can turn the tide of battles all by herself. And though we saw a couple of raises threaten the same thing, Lawn would love to threaten that here as our pistol round begins. There's only so much talking that needs to be done. At the end of the day, it's all about the playing. And we are underway.
Valsala with a very traditional cypher setup on the first round. Just a tripwire and the camera up high. We see Dominguez Hills finds the first pick with Lon taking out Nikki.
That's not a good start for the Reyna over Ray's fan club. Although I will personally mark that as a victory in Ray's book. Haha, hold that, Veronica. Anyway, there's Benoit getting the kill on Lon. Dongo gets the revenge as the follow-up comes through into heaven on the B side. The push looks clean so far for Dominguez Hills. They're into the site. They'll get the spike down. And ball salsa.
Spike planted.
Okay. All right, salsa. Okay, I get it. You almost got me. Almost got, but I'm not going to fall for this. Bobik gets the kill there. Showstopper takes out Bobik. DCMH gets the revenge on them. So it's 3v1 here for Adapters. They're going to have to make something quick happen. They get a shot there at Chris, but nothing much comes of it. It's unfortunate, too, with that Sheriff. A quick little head peek. That's actually really dangerous, but unfortunately, Adapt doesn't make much out of it. They're going to hang around here, even though this round will be won for Dominguez Hills. Actually, no, not even that much. You see, Adapt will just hang back, chill out. Ooh, nope. DCMH stays with the spike to make sure there's no frisky defuse happening. And there's Adapt getting a shot there right at the end, tagging some extra money into their books. You can see how down they are on credits. Adapt needing a kill like that to get themselves something in their coffers, but it looks like it'll be another save here as is tradition.
I really loved how Dominguez Hills on the post plant, knowing where Adapt was, sort of all kind of conglomerate around that angle and just keep the pressure on Adapt, not really allowing him to sort of take a one at a time peek.
Enemy kill.
Oh, Showstopper gets really greedy there on that ult point. They do get it, but Bobik will get one of their own for the pick. And it looks like the A site is wide open here as we see Bobik moving through. Watching the angles, but it's going to be a plant here from Chris. And another setup here for Dominguez Hills.
And you have Lon with a big flank here in Heaven A. He's going to find not one, but 2 kills on both Nipanoy and Nikki.
Dapt is very low as well. They're going to be pinned down as well. Lon's got eyes on them. Has to turn around and take out Salsa. That's no problem. And Dongle's Molotov there. The flame shot will get the kill. It's a clean post-plant situation for Dominguez Hills. Now, they had a weapons advantage in that round, obviously. You know, it's a factor. But they're looking very smooth here in these first 2 rounds. They jump out to a quick 2-0 lead.
I'm really loving these 50-50s that these teams are forcing their opponents to get into, right? With Dongle's sort of breach impact, he forces person stuck in screens to either take the peak with their classic or take all the damage and fall.
Yeah, it's been kind of a rough situation whenever plants go down, and we'll see if that pushes San Jose State to make decisions a little bit more quickly here as you see the fight come out there. It's not Nicotine Boy who gets that kill on Bobik, but they did distract them as Pinoy got the kill. Lon, however, gets 2. And they're in position to step forward at full health and take a third fight there as Nicotine Boy is up there in heaven with them. On the other side, it's Salsa getting flashed and pressured heavily there down in the site, but they do get a kill on Dongle. Chris gets the revenge, but here it is, Lon versus Nicotine, and it's Lon who gets their 3rd kill. They're looking clean. Showstopper will go for the flash here, but I don't think they found much, and they might be better off retreating and allowing that Phantom to stay in their hands, but we'll see what Showstopper looks to do here with the spike down and counting.
Indeed, we found this in a very similar position in pistol round. Adapt in a Heaven B. But this time around, Showstopper is able to find Chris, but Lon is going to go ahead and take their 4th kill of the round instead. Doing some heavy lifting for the side of Dominguez Hills for sure.
Yeah, I mean, on that instance, it was a really good. It was great positioning again, as you mentioned. When they have 3 agents to 1, they're kind of just. In this case, they don't know where the approach is going to come. They didn't identify where Showstopper was, so you put eyes on Heavy, you put eyes on the other angle, you watch and communicate, and that's how things played out there. Lon gets 4 kills, but it's really another team effort. They win that bonus round. Maybe get a chance to push this out. We'll see what happens as far as that Showstopper ultimate, but DCMH with a great start there to kill Adapt. They get a second one on Nicotine Boy, and things are looking dangerous. Showstopper's Bucky goes out. They don't get anything, and the utility goes for naught as Bobik gets the kill. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Yet again here, but it's Pinoy who's already ready for the trick that's already been done. It's 2 to 4. He's going to pick up that Phantom, and Balsalsa is going to go ahead and get into position with his Marshall, making sure no one pushes out through screens. Bobik holding the ropes.
Yeah, but that's the problem, right? Yeah, you can watch the retreat angles, right? You can cut it off on the exfiltration, but it's already been 3 rounds won for Dominguez Hills. It'll be a 4th here, most likely. They don't care if they die on the way out from this, right? They care about making sure this spike goes off. So it's Pinoy who tries to move around here and find an angle with that Phantom. But it's everything to gain, really, for Dominguez Hills. Oh, there's a great kill there on DCMH. They come the wrong way. Pinoy gets another one. That's 3. That's well done there, as Dongo does get the kill and has to wonder where the backup is. But there's nothing doing here, as instead it's the Marshall hold. Yeah, it's also resets there. They were holding that position the entire time, and nothing came of it. And that's really unfortunate. If they had made their way there, we might have had some action.
That indeed. Salsa could have been in position to kind of take revenge. Granted, he only had the Marshall in hand, and did end up choose to reset his economy because of that. But for sure, Pinoy found and created many, many guns on the floor with that triple kill that round. and definitely an amazing flank to kind of watch how he was interacting with that Killjoy turret to make sure he wasn't spotted. And as soon as the pick happened and he was revealed, to get rid of the turret immediately to follow up.
Yeah, and it gave himself option to get away and restart the fights. It was well played there from Pinoy. Just unfortunate that the communication apparently wasn't there. Or maybe that was the play, right? Maybe that was the idea. We don't know how it was called out for San Jose State. Regardless, we do know they are down 4-0. But in this round, it looks like Dominguez Hills more patient, more reserved. Juan, who went off in the last couple of rounds, they want to do it again. They got to push Pinoy there back off into the ropes. Showstopper's going to come up here.
Juan's going to enter in, finds nobody out on stairs, but he is going to go ahead and see that someone is in street, but the dash away. Salton's going to go ahead and take out Lon after the whiff of the ultimate. 2 are spotted garage on the side of Dominguez Hills. Down 2 players they are, make it down 3. Adapt finds DCMA. Dongle goes ahead and impacts the corner, but gets blind from the back. Follows to Nikki, and Salsa's going to go ahead and take the shot on Chris through the wall.
That's a round and a half there for San Jose State. That's not a bad way to get yourself onto the board. A flawless round in one where they had all the control in the world. Looked like they were playing like they were up 4-0. Really, the way they confidently handled every fight. And Dominguez Hill is just a little out of sorts. Not the best execution for them. The angles were there. The shots were on the table. They just didn't make them work. But you know, they're eager to get themselves back into it, set themselves up. Once again, we mentioned money, not really a problem for Dominguez Hills for the next couple of rounds. So they're going to buy in again. They're going to look to try to make this happen once again.
Bobic now going up with the aggressive mistake in place of Lon of the last round, but he's going to get caught up with the tripwire, and Nikki is going to go ahead and take that pick. Lon right behind Bobic, but unfortunately unable to find a trade. He is going to go ahead and make contact with Pinoy, but Pinoy is going to be the one that takes him in the head. And yet again, you see a 5-3. DH down by 2. Heaven is smoked off, but Showstopper does go for a flash of attack. But that is not going to find a kill. Instead, Donald thanks to DCMH finding the Showstopper pick. It is 3-3. Dominguez Hills have evened up the manpower on each team. Pinoy is going to go ahead and hold. And so is the entirety of the side of Dominguez Hills. They want this site locked down. But it is through this wall-bangable screen that Pinoy falls, and Salsa's going to go ahead and take out Chris, who was held.
DCMH has literally 1 health right now.
1 enemy remaining.
And I know... Oh, Nicotine Boy gets the kill on Dongle! That's going to leave DCMH all alone, but look, time is a factor right here. DCMH has a chance, but Salsa, 1 health, 1 shot, 1 kill.
Don't rush me.
Okay, there we go. Nicotine Boy gets a little step closer to that re-ultimate. Every time the screen darkens like that, I'm just like, oh, okay, we weren't messing around, right? We didn't goof it around and give that round up, but it's well handled this time by San Jose State. 2 rounds straight for them. They get themselves a little bit closer here, 4-2 as we enter into round number 7.
Indeed, and with the Cypher Ultimate, they're going to go ahead and have enough information, and with the Showstopper, they can either stop a direct push or play for the retake, so they are pretty well set up in this, 7th round going in.
Yeah, it's all part of the process here, but they need to be careful. These past couple of rounds, they've kind of lost before they began with key initiations like that. As Adapt makes the operator a factor, takes out Lon. Oh, there's the tripwire shutting Bobic's dash down. That's what we're talking about. They lose Bobic and Jan instantly once again. And this Killjoy won't find anybody. It'll clear a little bit of space. But San Jose State is happy to move off of the Salsa. That is a chunky mix right there. That is a lot of pressure there. This shot there by Adapt. The spike does go down again, however, but look at Pinoy cleaning things up from Heaven.
Here comes the ultimate out from Dongle. He's going to go ahead and try to retake the retake, and he's going to go ahead and take a pick on Mickey, but unfortunately there's so much utility stacked up against him, and here's Adapt with the op shot on the angle in hell to finish him off. Dominguez Hills dropping that round, giving SDSU the chance to catch it up 3-4.
All right, we're getting into the danger zone now as far as the momentum swing. It's in full effect here. San Jose State has come back alive, and it's been Adapt, Nicotine Boy, And these past 3 rounds, they have combined to just give Bobik and Lon all kinds of trouble, really forcing Dominguez Hills to play basically 3 to 5 for these pushes, and it has not worked out. So if you're Dominguez Hills, you got to get this figured out quickly. You've got to reconfigure your approach so you're not losing 2 of your key members before you even get a chance to start the push.
And yet again, Adapt is going to go ahead and pick off one more. And so we see Dongle down. Bobik is going to take the pick on Nikki, but Adapt immediately swings for the trade. That operator is still on the board and is proving to be much more effective than we've seen in previous matches.
I wonder where Nicotine was standing there as the shot went past where Adapt was. They killed them, and then Adapt instantly got the punish without having to move. Ooh, Adapt narrowly misses a 3rd chance there, but it's Showstopper instead who will step forward with a fresh aim. They take out Lon.
Very smart decision to fall off the stairs. They're going to give Heaven up, and they know both of those Dominguez players are there. As soon as one turns around, Pinoy catches him, DCM ace for a little bit of omen difference, and he's going to find Chris for the win right behind him.
He did find Chris for the win. Literal usage of that name there for Pinoy. They've done a great job. Really were kind of the heart of this, even as things weren't looking good for San Jose State at the beginning. And now where it feels like they're in complete control, even though the score is tied, just because of how dominant these rounds have been, and obviously because Dominguez Hills at this point has burned through all of that cash, that goodwill they had built up over 3 rounds straight of winning, and then with the loss bonuses, that's all gone now. They've got to start over. And Adapt is at it again. Another dynamite shot there, taking out Bobik and setting the stage here for perhaps another strong round. Pinoy gets 1, Nicotine Boy gets 2, and hello there, Dongle. Goodbye, Dongle.
Not the classic headshot right click. No, sir.
Pinoy says, you know what? Now that it's 5v1, think if nobody else is here to help you, we can go pistol up if you want. It's no problem.
Holy, I mean, I think that's the first time we've seen that box angle work in the past 3 matches, and man, was it effective with Nikki swinging the angle to support Pinoy, because it was just Dominguez Hills walks up, they get shot by Pinoy, so they all swing, turn around, and Nikki is there behind them now, and then they have to turn around again. Oh, no, no, no.
It's the way a wolf pack operates. They turn you around, you look at one, the other one, and as soon as you think you can catch the rotation, they switch it up on you. That's been the way of the Wolf and the way of the Spartans here as they step forward, but it's Dongle who gets the first turn on Pinoy. The rifles are back up here for Dominguez Hills. And the Toros have something to show for it as they get 1. Lon gets another there, but it's Showstopper who finds 2 before Chris is able to take him out. It is 3-2 here at Dominguez Hills. They step forward there, but there's some big damage on the board there as Salsa takes out Bobik. Lon gets Adapt off screen, however. The operator goes down. And through it all, Dominguez Hills has been able to get this done. Now, Salsa does have the ultimate, right? He can throw this on the ground and figure out where these 2 are when he begins this retake. But we'll see what decision Salsa makes. Last time they were in a situation sort of similar to this, they just held that exfiltration angle and didn't try to do anything with it, right? But it looks like we're going to have more aggression here out of Salsa. They throw the camera out there.
Lon gives away his position by shooting the camera, so Salsa is a little bit aware that Lon is probably somewhere up in heaven. He's going to go ahead and work and take that fight first, but it is Lon who's going to go ahead with a little bit of a strangely timed swing that catches him off guard and is going to take the 3rd kill of that round. Woo! Talk about catching someone with their pants down. Really caught him off guard, and chef's kiss.
It's beautiful, right? Lon just claps on he claps on 1 and 3 right there, just caught him off rhythm.
Goes here.
That's something that happens among competitors, right? You get a feel for the person that you're up against, even if you are opposed to each other. You've had that communication, that conversation, in a sense, and that time Lon completely surprised it. It was well played there, and it's necessary for Dominguez Hills to finally break that streak of rounds lost and that feeling of dread. Get this even back up and get themselves in a position to finish this half strong. We only have 2 more rounds left before the switch. Both teams want to be there, sitting on the right side of 7 and 5. We'll see how it plays out as round 11 begins.
Oh, and just as he hears them walking away out of ropes, Lon is going to go ahead and chase after them, making room for the rest of his team. Nikki is going to go ahead and try to kind of push off Dominguez Hills from that mid, but Lon is already up there, but he doesn't know that there's someone to his right. He doesn't need to. The noise comes smoking. Adapt watches Lon as he just blasts through Heaven A, his operator out in hand. He's going to go ahead and wait for Lon to repeat. And Lon actually is going to find a showstopper kill on Nikki. Bobik lurking around in Heaven B, not looking so great for SDSU. Dominguez Hill with an absolutely dominant position here on the A site. And Bobik ready for a flank as well as the last 3 members of SDSU are coming through screen. Salsa's going to find a pick on Lon, get that ultimate out. Information code. And Adapt is left in Heaven. And the 4th member of Dominguez Hills having to run around all the way to get to this fight.
See how that goes, but oh, there Salsa finds a quick kill there on DCMH. Chris is able to respond it, but you got to be careful here, Dominguez Hills. You can't allow that type of angle to show up. There's Dongle falling to Adapt. Showstopper gets the kill on Chris, and Showstopper's gonna step up here, try to get this. The quick flick from Bobik doesn't work, and Bobik gets the kill on Showstopper at the last second. You called it out, Ashkan. It was the long flank. It was the slow burn. And Bobik, who has been so quiet up till now, gets loud right before the end of the half as they clutch out that round for Dominguez Hills.
I was definitely on the edge of my chair for that one. The timing was close, but Bobik definitely was not scared whatsoever with that almost just exact timing with it. And Adapt certainly unhappy with that op whiff, but that doesn't matter because they're going to go ahead and pick it up again and do what they've been doing, which is get those picks where they've been needing to get them.
I gotta tell you, Ashkan, you could fool me and tell me that this is supposed to be the quote-unquote lowest division in the CVL. The way these games have played out today, this looks like premier gameplay, and it's the type of action you only find in the Collegiate Valorant League. These two teams go at it here again. It's the first pick here for Dominguez Hills with the Killjoy ult down. Salsa gets smoked off here. Still finds some good damage there. Lon is very low. Bobik gonna step forward to take the fight instead, and they dot Salsa up. The plant comes down here. Nicotine Boy will drop down into it, and there's a whole lot of trouble on that end as Lon gets the kill with the operator. Showstopper got 1 while it's happening, but that's 4-2 right now for Dominguez Hills. They're happy about it. DCMH takes out Panoy, and Showstopper gets rattled up in the air. They fall shortly after, and it is Dominguez Hills who takes the final 2 rounds of a very contentious half, very back and forth. But here we see Dominguez Hills up 7-5.
But man, that is a revenge kill if I've ever seen. When Lon picking up the operator to find a pick out there on the attacking side, that's like a, all right, we've had enough of this. You can have a taste of your own medicine.
It's I mean, it's how it goes, right? This is how you kind of, I mean, it's how you punch back, right? You win first 3 rounds, you lose the next 4 or 5, you respond in kind, you keep on it, right? You try to keep it going. And I think, yeah, we go. We're even up, back up here as we begin this pistol round. The 2 teams have switched side. Oh, Bobik. It's a couple opportunities at Adapt. They finally get that kill. It's good looking for them.
And as Bobik falls off to the side, Lon is going to go ahead and replace him here on the catwalk, or on the ramp.
See Panoy here moving around, and there's the, oh no, Lon, oh no.
Oh no! If you don't want to aim like that, make sure you're practicing with AimLab, free on the Steam Workshop. DCMH with a nice headshot going to take off Nikki. He's going to go ahead and retreat as he finds people ready to trade him out. Lon is going to go ahead and find Showstopper hidden in that corner. And it is Salsa alone finding a pick on Bobik. But hey, with 4 people after you, what more can you do? Maybe find another pick. Unfortunately, not Lon with the 3rd kill of that first pistol round.
Lon, who should, by all means, have had nothing to do that round. Lon should have been sitting back, taking a drink of water, telling them, you guys got this, y'all got this, you can do it. Instead, They get a second chance at life, and they make the most of it with 3 kills there. Sometimes you make your own luck, and you put that kind of pressure on people, and that's what starts to happen as we see Bobic gonna get that Marshall out. They're gonna look to push to this momentum and really drive the nail in here as San Jose State down 3 rounds behind, of course, in the economy.
SDSU is ready to flood heaven A right now.
It's a lot of damage here, and this is very bad for Bobic. They're gonna have to fall off of A. They're gonna have to give up heaven. They're gonna get pushed even more deeply than that. We'll see what happens there around the top of the map. As you see, Pinoy is looking around. They catch Bobic looking the wrong way. Showstopper finds Dongle as they had just gotten 2. DCMH takes out Adapt. This trades in and out here from both sides, but the spike is down. Low health situation for Showstopper and Pinoy. DCMH and Chris here have a lot of time to work. And they don't need to do too much damage, so they need to be precise.
Dominguez Hills makes their way onto the site with Chris finding the first pick on Pinoy and DCMH finishing off Showstopper. Of course, both of those last members of SDSU had less than 50 health. But of course, amazing timing nonetheless. It's 1 headshot difference to kind of turn this sort of retake around, and it was still very well done. Health, regardless of health.
You see the round counters right there in the middle of this scoreboard. Kind of tells the story, right? Dominguez Hills gets off to a beautiful start. They win 4 straight. And then it's San Jose State turning things around. They win 5 in a row. They're looking fantastic. And that momentum gets broken as once again Dominguez Hills has taken advantage of the eco situation in the second round. They win it again. They've won 5 straight rounds. This is when things started to go poorly for them. Or rather, I guess you could say it was the round after the next that started to go poorly for them in the first half. But with a map as defensively tilted as this one is often said to be, you wonder if this lead is even bigger than it seems. But Pinoy don't want to hit none of that. They get the kill there on Chris. They try to get another on DCMH. Doesn't happen. Showstopper is late on the rotation, so DCMH finds 2. As Lawn tries to get Bucky's right click, they get close. That's fair damage with a shotgun that far, right? That's fair, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Adapt finally finding DCMH and taking them out with the Spectre. Bomb plant goes down. And for a bonus round, SDSU, or for a bonus round, Dominguez Hills has a great chance of winning it.
Yeah, it's a little bit rougher than what they would have liked. They had a chance for some more here, but you see the weapon swapping. They're moving it around. Bobic gonna get a Phantom in hand here, so they've got some weapons to work with, but the angling and positioning doesn't look great, and they're rapidly running out of time here. The blind comes out. They push Salsa. They find him. Nicotine Boy is able to take Bobic, though. It's going to be a 1v1 between Nicotine Boy and Bobic. But there's low health and not a lot of time, as it looks like Bobic maybe will just try to get the kill. That won't happen. It's Nicotine Boy with the kill and the round for San Jose State. Oh. Well, that's not great, but it's what you need to sacrifice if you're San Jose State, as Nicotine Boy gives his life for the sweet, sweet sensation of a round 1.
Absolutely. But the future, or how should I say, the future prospects of that round is definitely looking in Dominguez Hills' favor, because to lose all 5 of your players after a bonus round is definitely a hard hit.
You can see it. You can see it. You know, kind of playing out right now in the way this round begins. Bobic is going to be aggressive to push up, right? Because the way you were saying it, it was a hard hit for SDSU, maybe a Pyrrhic victory in a sense. And Dominguez Hills maybe senses that. They push up, they try to get the first kill. See if they can break this attack before it really even starts, because San Jose State isn't operating with the same weaponry and kit that they would expect to be operating in this situation.
That indeed, and should Dominguez Hills pick this round off as well, SJSU won't be looking too hot.
Dominguez Hills, you know you'd love to make that happen. Bobic wants one more here before they have to retreat again. It's a bit too much pressure on him here, so they're gonna double smoke up, see if they can get some movement. Pinoy gets Dongle. That's great, and Bobik's angle is called out by Salsa. Some smart movement there on the side of San Jose State, and then Pinoy, who's been a hero for San Jose State, they get another 3K. The spike goes down, and it's Pinoy who is stepping forward and keeping the hope alive for the Spartans.
And here is Lon left alone with a Bucky. There was a Vandal up in that corner. He's going to go ahead and go for it, but as soon as that weapon drops on the floor, his position is going to go ahead and be revealed. And instead, it looks like he's opting to actually save this Vandal. Here's a little bit of a moment with this camera. How romantic.
Yeah, folks. Well, you know, with as much time as the spike as it goes off Lon, they're moving with the knife like they're not getting pressed, but they are getting pressed. Lon isn't ready yet. They're going to have to fight for this, but they've got to guess the angle.
Oh, stop making noise, Lon! You're going to get found! Oh, but it is Lon who takes out Pinoy, who, you know, after 3 kills, you know, like, you're going to be low health. Like, he, you know, Pinoy was trying to get his moments, but Lon said no. Oh.
Yeah, I guess it was a trap. It was right there. He said, come on, take a step. Come on my lawn. It's no problem. No, it was a trap there, but San Jose State throw at great cost once again. They find a second round. They may seem costly, but you know the value is there as you keep playing this in your San Jose State. That lead is getting shorter and shorter. And they're catching up to Dominguez Hills here as we begin round number 17.
Very nice default positioning here on the side of SDSU, you know, choosing not to go one way, too far one way or the other, and because of that, find not 1, but 2 picks. Showstopper taking out 1, and Pinoy taking out DCMH. They're out onto the B side. Their immediate ability to rotate comes through. Showstopper goes ahead and starts up the plant. Pinoy again finding Dongle with these amazing kills, pushing through and out of the site. Adapt taking out Lon, and Nicotine, who was left behind, will not be left behind on the scoreboard as they find a shot on Chris.
The tail of the second half is beginning to look a lot like the first. 5 rounds straight for Dominguez Hills, and then a row of victories for San Jose State as they push closer to evening this up again. The difference, however, at least in my opinion, just kind of feels like what happens once these ultimates come online for San Jose State and they're able to get into sites and set up for retakes. So instead of the utility pushing them out where they have to guess where where Dominguez Hills is coming from, what happens when San Jose State is able to lead the charge and they're able to make the first call on where people are going to end up? I just have to wonder about that, especially when we look at the difference in the duelists, right? I feel like with Reyna, you don't gather information as well, and she doesn't move as well as Raze does before kills start happening. But once they do, she's a lot slipperier, and I wonder if that's something San Jose State was actually counting on in the second half.
Oh, but if anyone's slippery, this match is for sure Pinoy, who finds yet another kill, catching Lon. Bobik going to get into position to try and hold the Heaven B from mid with that operator DCMH as well, as Bobik turns around to realize that they are pushing through B main. SJSU gets the bomb down with Nikki. Adapt missing that knife shot, but it is going to go ahead and have a little bit of a hold in tree room. Bobik again continuing to repeat from Heaven B, has to find an opening for the rest of his teammates to enter in. Adapt gets blinded and hit, but it is a tripwire from Salsa that gets Chris and enables a pick. We're going to see a drop down. Flashes come out. Adapt falls. Oh man, Showstopper's going to go ahead and trade out Dongle, as well as Bobik. DCMH is going to try to come through. Gets Pinoy, but it is Showstopper with a 3rd kill, stopping the retake.
It's an operator on the ground here. It's a tie game now. Dominguez Hills has seen that lead squandered away. And you see the weapons they're buying there in the screen here of Showstopper. That's not looking great. They're not looking happy when it comes to their weapons. And the ultimate utility here is there. You've got the Cypher ult. You've got the Breach ult from Showstopper. If San Jose State can find themselves in a site, they can make it really hard to retake. if that's even necessary, because when you look at the weapons on the side of Dominguez Hills, they're going to have a hard enough time just trying to hold this, let alone try to get back into a site if they fall off. Bobik would love to be able to close quarters with this Bucky, would love to be able to use that air dash, but look at the patience here from San Jose State. Look at the angles. They're not rushing, they're executing as one by one Dominguez Hills members fall. The Toros falling behind here in round number 20. Is Adapt, that carbon fiber operator there. Would love to have something to do with it here, but it seems unlikely as the well, the spike still hasn't gone down. But there we go. Showstopper just remembers. Oh yeah, that's my job.
Spike planted.
Gets the spike down. DCMH and Lon left to figure something out, but too sure what the call is here for them as they try to get this retake going.
Shadows traveling.
Last player standing.
Drawing a lot of attention to himself. Lon goes down. DCMH does trying to pick, but it is Adapt who takes him out. That operator always coming in handy. Doesn't matter long angle or short angle. Adapt picks that off and will pick you off as well. A little bit of, having the SMGs there, I would have assumed Lon and DCMH would have kind of gone for more of a pincer, because to give away their position in such a tight area seemed disadvantageous. But in the heat of that kind of a moment and with not much left to do, at the end of the day, DCMH got the pick that he wanted.
They get the kill. They're able to get their money up, right, and make a choice here. See, oh, it's Adapt who wins the duel with Lon. A clean shot there. This is what we were seeing during that streak for San Jose State, right? It's Lon and Bobik falling early again. This has been the issue for Dominguez Hills all night in the rounds they can't take. They lose their duelist to begin with, and the rest of the team has to find a way. Chris does get the kill there on Nicotine Boy, but they've got to fall back lest they get flashed and killed. Oh, there's DCMH getting killed, and Chris takes out Showstopper. Dominguez Hills is able to make this frisky. The ultimate use coming out there, but at that amount of distance, we'll see how much it does there. Salsa, I guess, wanted to clear up for the plant, and you know what? Just give Pinoy a couple of targets to hunt. Let him do his job. There's the third kill. If Pinoy can find a fourth, if Salsa can get on the board, San Jose State will get their 11th round. If Chris can really make their way all the way over to the site in time, maybe they can even this back up. We'll see.
Coming up on the Raptors, Chris gets a turret out. Pinoy knows they're there, but unfortunately, Chris does not clear the Raptors. Pinoy finds his 4th kill of this round. And earlier I said it was Lon doing some heavy lifting, for the side of CSU Dominguez Hills, but now we see SJSU Pinoy. Oh my god, almost dropping 30 kills, looking like 10s in Sentinels versus 100 Thieves out on Icebox.
He's a slayer tonight, and you see it, all right? More than doubled up on anybody on his team, but everybody's happy for it from San Jose State side. They're not hating. In fact, it really feels like they're kind of setting it up, right? I mentioned that ult from Salsa. At first, I was a little bit like, well, I don't know if you're really close enough for it. But it was to set up Pinoy, who doesn't get anything there. Bobik, what a shot there from there. They try to get a second, and instead they lose their head to Adapt, who is been doing quite a bit of work there with that operator. Been pretty efficient. You want your operator at least get 1 kill a round, right? And Adapt has been more than met for that task.
I think there's almost a lack of respect for Adapt's operator, actually, from the side of Dominguez Hills. They've been kind of dropping early. When the sides were swapped, of course, when you can't really tell where that operator is going to be. And while the same holds true here, oh my god. Did Adapt just drop their gun for a Phantom? Wait a minute.
That is correct. Yeah, that's correct. And now he's going for it. Adapt is playing gun game right now. They get an operator kill, they get a Phantom kill, now they want a blade kill. Do whatever you want here. Adapt is they move over into the B site. What's that?
He's adapting. Adapt is adapting. My brain! Adapt! No!
Commentators call that a caster's curse right there. It's Adapt Misses those shots in that corner. Chris gets a kill right there as well. So even with the spike down, what was a very comfortable looking round for San Jose State just got a little bit more tricky. Salsa takes out Dongo, however, and then gets a tag there. That's nice. Good intel will force Chris back, but the molly there combined with the ultimate. Salsa is just committed to fighting this as well as they can. They know they're gonna fall, but they take out DCMH before it happens, and Chris has to respect Showstopper's ultimate. They're not gonna be able to get the kill in time to set themselves up. Look at the counterplay there from Showstopper.
That was an amazing timing and amazing choice of ultimate usage to counter that Killjoy ult and set himself up into position, kind of denying Chris the ability to force the opportunity. And my oh my, it's looking not so good for Dominguez Hills here, as they were, you know, feeling like having a dominant first half, I would say, and now not so much. They're up against the wall with match point for SDSU, and it's been a great showing right now from both teams.
You know, we talk about push and pull, you know, the tug of war of momentum and things like that, but I don't know if we've seen as polarized a round as this is Lon going errant with a couple of those operator shots. They do get some damage there on Pinoy, and Bobic gets two there. Wait a minute, that's a big pair of kills there as Nicotine and Adapt fall. Pinoy's still up there, but the show is stopped there. Lon, what an operator can't do, the showstopper will. It's an expensive round here so far. It's a double op setup actually at this point now, right, with Adapt falling. But it's what you gotta do if you're Dominguez Hills, is you cannot afford to give up any more rounds, at least not in regulation. Seems unlikely that they will lose a round here, as Showstopper and Salsa are left. They move into DCMH, who says hello and goodbye. They get flashed, they get pushed, they get out of the way. They get flashed again.
Oh, poor DCMH, just unable to see for a total of like 8 seconds straight.
Well, I'll tell you, for all that, they still got a good amount of damage done on Showstopper, who's, you know, doesn't have much that they can do right here, right? Everybody knows they're in garage. They don't have anywhere to retreat. Oh, wait, maybe not, maybe. If he starts off at a dead run right now, do you think he can make his A? I don't think so, right? Can't make his A and plant there, right?
Oh, not with that turret in the window. Showstopper? Showstopper, no! What are you doing? It does 9 damage!
I mean, it was just the ult. It was just the ult point. Showstopper concedes the round, basically. Says, you know what? I don't need it. We're not going to get it. I'm just going to take this ult. And then maybe was going to try to get another kill, but instead just gives Chris another free point for their ult. And, you know, if you're Chris, you're happy about that, because you need those ultimates to come online quickly within regulation, right? You need that in order to have a chance to make this a done deal. So we'll see if that plays out over these next couple of rounds. Chris only has 2 out of those 7 ult points, but maybe that'll change as we see Bobic set up on the operator. Bobic was an unsung hero of the last round. They got 2 kills. Set things up here as Chris gets a bit of good damage there on Pinoy. Two really just trading hellos and goodbyes as they get out of the way.
SJSU now kind of gathering up in the mid, ready to push up as a group. Lon holding ropes from the little bit of a boost spot.
Pinoy here has really been able to make it all the way around here. They're going to get in the B and maybe take the back there. DCMH is flanked out. You got to wonder how that ends up happening.
Cannot let your eyes go. When you have an angle that's being held, you need to be the one holding it. Lon comes in with a great defense out of ropes, taking not 1, not 2, but 3 with an amazing spray down with the bandit. He's going to come on out towards the site, but unfortunately before he gets there, Dongle is going to take out Pinoy, and Chris stops Showstopper, and Dominguez Hills brings back one more round. Should they take this next one, round 24, they're going to make it to the tie breaker, and then they're going to need to win 2 more on top of that. It is going to be a long final round. If that does happen, we see DCMH with the ultimate ready. No ultimates on the side of Dominguez Hills, but still possible nonetheless.
It's like off-camera magic right now for Dominguez Hills. Lon with that ridiculous 3K. We don't know how it happened. We didn't see it. It happened too quickly. Bobic who has multiple times when we're not watching gotten 2 kills and just gotten adapted Nicotine Boy off the field. But it's any means necessary for Dominguez Hills as they finally have a chance right now. The final match point in regulation for San Jose State. Said it once, I'll say it again. It's been a match of runs between two teams who just taking turns looking like they can't be stopped here. He's going to teleport across. Doesn't get punished for it. Going to come down here and ropes, and we'll see what happens on the other side of that. Lawn looks like they're ready for it, but they're not.
Cover going out.
It's that angle. And Pinoy with the low ground gets the kill.
Now with that pick, they choose to retreat here, except for Thalsa, who's in B main, already taking out DCMH on the pick with a nice swing. And Pinoy is going to go ahead and lurk on over to A as the Presence B has sort of tricked Dominguez Hills to stack most of their manpower towards it. And here we go as SDSU just runs it on into the A site. Nicotine Boy holding the mid, waiting for anyone to rotate. Finds no one, but it does not matter because this position is great for SDSU, especially when Adapt gets rid of Bovic.
Dongo gets adapted. Still a bit of time to get this down, but there's Pinoy who gets Dongo. So Chris is now left alone. They get that revenge, but with the spike down, it's gotta be Chris for the win. They step across, but Nicotine Boy heralds the chat. They say, I know you've been waiting for me, and I will not disappoint. The final kill of the night goes to San Jose State. Nicotine Boy dots the I's, crosses the T's, finishes it off, and it's San Jose State who takes the victory, 13-11. But let us give top kudos to a pair of incredible slayers on both teams. Lawn with 23 kills, looking incredible, just some outright amazing work. And not to be outdone, Pinoy drops 30 kills in regulation to lead San Jose State to victory.
Yeah, when you see someone pick up a controller, you know, you're not expecting them to be the lead fragger of the team, and yet here's Pinoy standing at the very top of not only his team, but the enemy team as well. And I think this is one of the few times we've ever seen a 30 bomb coming out from someone who isn't a duelist. In fact, might be the only time this season. And when he brings a whole new meaning to controller with a presence like that, I mean, he's going to control the enemy's line of sights, as well as he chooses who gets to live or die. I mean, Pinoy, practically you could call him Thanos.
I mean, you can say it how you want it right there. He had full control over it, and in the end game, and was Pinoy making the decisions, there's the victory for San Jose State, and that is the end of our final match of the night. We want to thank you all so much sticking with us and tuning in. Congratulations to all the teams who are victorious. We're looking forward to another strong week of Valorant action happening next Tuesday. We'll be Muted and Funny Men taking over for our Radiant League calls. But for Ashcon, Queen V, I am Eli the Curry with the Gamers EDU. Before we leave, we do want to thank our sponsors one final time. Of course, our partners over at MSI who are doing that exclamation mark giveaway. Again, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Get in that raffle. If you don't, you're going to be so sad. Our partners over at Clear Eye View, as well as the California State University Entertainment Alliance, Radiance.gg, as well as the folks over at AIM Labs, Ritual Motion, and of course, HyperX. Ashcon, I tell you, man, this has been one of the longer matches longer nights we've had on a Friday, but it felt like it was worth every second. Great matches to behold, man.
That indeed, I'm thoroughly impressed by all 6 schools that we saw today, and man, I can't wait to see them again.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we appreciate you all for tuning in, but this is the end. We wish you a good night, and we will see you all next time.